Oh, well, it'll come eventually, I'm sure.
Eventually, I only brought two of the hurricanes. Well, I bought four hurricanes today, and
You brought
they're
hurricanes to Macintosh.
these,
What if your place gets flooded and everything?
these.
Oh, I see. I was making a hurricane joke too.
Oh, haha. They're
Yeah,
25 ounces of 8.1% alcohol beer.
alcohol beer. Okay,
Uh, uh,
well, that's a lot of
no,
work.
no, no, no. I mean, the alcohol content is 8.1%.
Holy crap!
Yeah, there you go.
So
Now you.
one sip, you'll be fucked up. You'll be speaking
And
Spanish.
I had this left from last night, and I was like, nope, that's not going to be enough. I've been in a car all day. I got my
Uh,
shit done in Crooks, and I needed to do
oh,
today.
okay. Oh, you did your thing and got your
Yep,
thing.
and then I got that Crooks
Okay.
thing
Wow.
done. I
All
had
right.
mail had to have them mail me more paperwork, and I got that last Friday. So
Okay. I like how the posters in the background, or the pictures in the background, the photos anyway, are more closer now, so it looks more like your background, like you
yeah,
have an official background now.
right. You like that?
Yeah, I do, and you got like
Oh, you want to
circle
see
right
something
around
else?
you, just like we got Jesus right around
Here we
us.
go. There we go. My props.
Wow, it's bigger than mine.
Doesn't take much, does it? God, I got to save that good stuff for the actual show.
Well, yeah, but it's a pre-show. We got good stuff coming up for the pre-show. We're gonna once we get more people in here, I'm gonna share some videos that I'm not gonna share on the live, just to make it more interactive. Just because we're at the last two episodes of our season here, so it's like we'll get a little crazy a little bit.
Did
Why
I show
not?
you my new toys?
Uh, the appropriate toys, though. Oh, okay, that's nice. That's nice.
And this, and they're going to be this mostly is just for the podcasts.
Uh-huh.
And it's mostly just a prop right now because I can't plug it into my phone.
Okay.
But I'm getting at some point an HP Pavilion.
Okay. Well, that's good. That'll probably help big time with that. You know, I mean, really, that's good.
And
Because I'm
then
already my goal is I'm getting a new computer too, or at least a new desktop. Because the video card's acted up a little bit here and there. Like I'll be like, it lets me do things like this or whatever, but it's like for some reason it just wants to, like, when I watch a YouTube video or whatever, it wants to like freeze the video sometimes, and it just doesn't want to process the way it should anyway. So I mean, here and there, it doesn't do it all the time. But it's like I want to watch high resolution videos when I'm paying $15 a month for premium.
right.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow I go to. I'm gonna be. I got to get up at 7 a.m. and
Go to
catch my
Brainerd.
ride with Deborah, going to Brainerd to do that fingerprinting thing, and
Hey,
then
it's
for my
Ken.
for my new job, and then Friday I take the state exam.
Wow.
I'm really gonna be.
Well, I hope everything really goes good for you, honestly, because that's
Me
just
too. It's gonna be good money if I can pass
that's
the damn test.
it's just everything. All these obstacles. It's like you're on one big obstacle course. And if you even
Oh,
like, if you do like just like breathe the wrong way, it's like, oh, that's a check mark.
right.
So,
Yeah,
uh,
that's why I had to get. I figured having the extra camera would be a good idea.
sure.
So they can see the whole room. They have to look at the whole room that you're in and make sure you don't have any tissue boxes or pieces of paper or anything that notes could be on.
Sure.
Uh,
I don't want
And you
you to
get,
cheat.
yep,
They want to make
exactly.
sure you are who you say you are. Oh, good. Finally got it. How's it going, Ken? How's it going, Anthony?
Hello,
Uh,
pretty good.
good to see you. Good to see you again. So you
Yeah.
must be like busy every other Monday then, Ken, huh? I
Uh,
didn't know
well,
what your schedule was at all, so that's why when I invited you on the show, I wasn't sure how often you'd be able to show up or not.
well, part of it is what happens at 6 o'clock for you happens at 3 o'clock for me.
Oh, you're talking like you're doing another show?
Well, no, but if I'm
Different
not
time zone.
home or something's going on, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm thinking his show's at 6, and then I look at my clock and it's like 4:30. I'm like, shit.
Oh, you mean the time? Okay, you got the times mixed up. Okay.
Yeah, time zones.
Okay, that's what. Okay, I did. Okay, I get you. Well, the time will always be the same. At least even going into the new season because in January it's at 6 o'clock. Well, 5:30 my time, 3:30 your time, but with the 5 o'clock pre-show because I like to include the pre-show just because it's a little extra. I felt like now that we have an actual crew and people are starting to really like the show and everything, I feel it's best for us to do as much as possible for the time that we have. You know, that way,
Yeah.
then everything just makes it sense anyway. We also got a new honorary crew member here who's going to probably be joining us a lot more during the next season. His name is Roger Rivera. He's from my area. Say hi, Roger.
Hi everybody, how you doing?
Hey, what's happening?
He wanted to be on the podcast because I told him about it here when we worked together at the casino and everything. And so I thought, well, hey, you seem like you fit right in. So,
Lance Warlock.
and yes, the legendary Lance Warlock.
Hi, guys.
Lance
Hi.
Warlock. Nice to meet you, Lance.
How the heck is everybody?
Yeah, we're doing all right.
My Steelers are 8-2 after beating the Baltimore Dead Birds.
I forgot all about my Seahawks yesterday, and they barely squeaked it out.
Wow.
What did you guys think of that fight?
I'm wearing
Which
my
one?
Bumblebee throwback Steeler jersey.
Love it.
Well,
I
we
thought it
watched
was pretty good. I haven't seen a fight for a long time on television like that.
Biggest
Oh, yeah.
hoax of the fucking. Anyway.
Right?
Well, they were back then anyway.
Why, Ken? Did you have money right on that, or what?
Well, no, but they had contracts signed that they weren't allowed to knock each other out. They weren't allowed to hit certain ways.
Oh,
If Tyson
okay.
knocked him out in the first round, he didn't get paid.
Well, no, if he
Oh.
knocked him out at all, it was contracted. Neither one could knock out either one.
Neither one could hit each other so many
mean-
times
He
around.
just, like,
Let's face
just
it.
put his arms up. He's like, nope, I'm done.
So
There's little
basically
teenage
just-
girls in slap fights over the last mascara at the Kmart Cosmetics stand put up a bigger fight.
Yup.
Wow.
Them
Yeah.
two girls that fought the two girls that fought before that fight were awesome.
And
Oh
I
They
yeah,
don't
were.
that
know
was a
if
good
you,
fight. They were fighting.
Yes,
Yeah.
they were.
you
So-
guys know
Paul
who
was
this
just
Jake
like,
Paul is?
Okay, give me my money.
So basically, the main event was the scripted match, and everything else was pretty good. The undercard
Yeah, it was
better
like a
than the main
wrestling
event.
match.
Okay. And sometimes that happens in wrestling events where the undercard matches are better than the main event. You get hyped up for
The two
Brock Lesnar
undercard
versus
fights were
Goldberg.
way better than the main event.
You get hyped up for Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg at Survivor Series 2016, and you get an under 2-minute match. But yet all the other matches were way better. I remember that.
That's why the UFC on Saturday night was better than the Netflix fight, but it was
Oh, yeah.
still enjoyable shit. You had to watch it, right?
John Jones, he wanted to retain his belt. He's good.
And I bet you it didn't buffer half the time.
Other
You
than
guys
Chris
even know
Buffer,
who this
Michael
Jake
Buffer.
Paul actually is?
Yeah, he's a social media guy, just like
Yeah,
Logan.
he was a social
Yeah,
media influencer. And
He's just a media
at one
whore.
point, isn't he the same guy that was out recording somewhere and found a dead body and was live and was like
that was
showing
his
this
brother.
dead body?
That
That was his brother.
That's
Oh,
Logan
that was his
Paul,
brother,
who's a
okay.
current WWE superstar.
Oh, wow. I never heard that one.
And the thing about the Pauls when it comes to Logan anyway, I don't know if you guys
Logan
watch
Paul,
his
yes.
wrestling ability, but he's actually pretty good. I mean, while he probably as far as somebody who is a media whore as well, yes, he's definitely somebody who's I'm not that interested in his YouTube content, but I'm interested in he's proven that he can go on when he does these matches. Regardless of what
This
type of
is
contract
Logan
or
you're
whatever.
talking about?
Yeah, Logan,
Okay.
is willing to fight. Logan is willing to actually, go the distance because he's had a few good matches in WWE, and man, I tell you,
Oh,
he's
okay.
done pretty well. He's held some championships too.
What?
Yeah, he's a former United States champion already. Yeah, he beat Rey Mysterio for it.
He's a good wrestler. He's in wrestling. He went right up to the top in no time.
And that's because of his name, but then they found out he could actually wrestle, kind of like what they did with Bad Bunny. See, some of these people that they invite on to do this stuff, they don't realize that some of these guys can actually you know, are dedicated that can actually do it. You know, there's a
Right,
because when
right.
Bad Bunny came on and then prefer, you know, because Bad Bunny's just a international entertainer or whatever. Well, what does he know about wrestling, right? Or being athletic, right? Well, they gave him a chance with at WrestleMania, and he proved that he was very dedicated to the craft. So
Yeah,
yeah.
same like that defensive end that it played for the Steelers. Oh, I can't remember his name. He just died. He went into the WCW and cleaned house.
Oh, you okay? Are you talking? Well, because was there a Kevin Green?
Kevin Green.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a long time ago. That was back in the
Yeah,
90s.
well, he retired from football a long time ago, but
Yeah.
he was our Christ. He was one of the besides T.J. Watt. He was our best defensive
He was
end.
your modern day Steve Mongo McMichael.
Yep.
Mad Dog, why are you dressed like a bumblebee?
This is my throwback Heath Miller throwback Steelers shirt.
Oh, okay.
What
So I
era?
love it.
Last night, since we beat our rival and hated Baltimore Ravens, I figured I'd wear it tonight. I just loved every minute of that game.
I think Mad Dog's
Now I'm waiting for
Stand
Sean
in
to ask me
Baltimore.
why I'm dressed like Beetlejuice.
Well, I don't know why you're dressed like Beetlejuice, because if I say your name 3 times, we don't know what's going to happen.
You're lucky you ain't around.
I'm
You
a fan of
thought I
beer.
dropped the bomb on you.
No, Mad Dog's just going to be a new soccer player, is all. That's what he wants to be.
No, that's my throwback Heath Miller Bumblebee shirt. They wore these one year. They will wear these this year one time.
What era is that?
This is, I guess, 80 or 90. It says right here. Hold on.
1890.
Okay.
2012.
Wow. 2012.
Huh.
All right.
My
Since,
son, every year my sons would buy me a throwback jersey. And I used to have them hanging all on my walls in here. And I could never fit in them because they were always, modest throwback jerseys. So now that I lost 148 pounds, I'm starting to be able to fit in them. So I figure, well, I look at them on the wall, I'm going to start wearing the damn thing.
There you go.
So I got throwback from every team, Kansas City, every football team. I got all except for Dallas. I will not wear a throwback Dallas jersey. Never.
You look like a sexy beast there, Mad Dog. So don't worry, it's okay.
Woo!
Well, okay. So what I'm going to do right now, since we're doing the pre-show, I'm going to do kind of like what I did last time. Of course, we're not going to re-air the Mad Dog comedy. That was last week's deal. And if you watched the full show, you saw the replay of it and everything. That was just a surprise. That was just an Easter egg on Mad Dog, because I thought that was kind of fun just to see him do some comedy and everything. Something I randomly just found on the internet. I was just doing some research. But I got some funny stuff for you guys. Something that'll make you probably almost pee your pants. And I'm gonna play this stuff during the pre-show here now, just to get us a little bit warmed up anyway.
That's easier with each passing day.
Oh, you do that quite often, right? All right, so I'm gonna find the video here for you, the first one, and just don't think too much about what you're gonna see. Just go along with it, and then we'll have a discussion afterwards. So this is the first one right here. Everybody can see?
Yep.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hey, Nikki, found these.
Oh. Thanks, Brian.
What are those?
They're wipes for electronics. Yeah, like computer monitors mainly.
My computer monitor is very dirty. May I have one?
Sure.
Hey, Brian, got your next project here. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm using these new cleaning wipes from Nikki. They work really well. Plus, they're sticky.
Oh, they're sometimes called pads, and really the best ones for computer monitors, they're called overnight pads. They're like non-abrasive, and they do LED, LCD. So the best for computer monitors, overnight pads.
Do you think Nikki would have any overnight pads?
I don't know, that's a good question. Anyway, thanks for doing this.
Nikki, could I get another one of those pads, please?
Sure.
Do you have any overnight pads?
Not here. No.
Okay, I guess just a normal one will do. I just need more coverage. The center is fine, but the edges are very tricky.
Yeah, it's usually the edges.
These are super absorbent. It's like someone at NASA must have made them.
I'm glad one of us is enjoying them.
So what's your thoughts on it? Let's have a discussion.
Apparently that man didn't have a mother or sisters or ever a girlfriend, if you did not know what that was.
And if they work, I say use them.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I had a little. I could tell you a funny story about that. My brother-in-law, when he was a little kid, me and my wife were going jogging, and he wanted to come jogging with us. So he come down the steps, and one of them stuck to his forehead. He thought they were a sweatband, and he had one stuck to his forehead. And I'm like, "Okay, Michael, what are you doing, son?" He goes, "Well, these are sweat things, ain't they?" I'm like, "No, my girlfriend at the time, it was my wife. She was so embarrassed that she's trying to unpeel it off his forehead. He thought they were sweatpants,
Yeah, like a headband or whatever. Yeah.
So, we in our medical kits, we had ones with like 4 feet of gauze out each side, and they were for wrapping around your torso if you got a bullet wound. You put it on there, and then the extra gauze was to tie it in place.
That's why he had it wrapped around his head.
They were basically pads.
Yep.
With just these long tails of gauze out both ends.
How about you, Roger? What do you think?
My two kids went, and when they were about 4 and 5 years old, they're only 10 months apart. And anyway, they came out, and they had about 15 or 20 of them stuck on each one of them. And they thought they were big. They thought they were big Band-Aids, and they said, "Dad, we have Band-Aids on." And I said, "Well, they kind of are Band-Aids. They work the same way, but they're not Band-Aids." About 2 weeks later, they come out and they used every single Band-Aid, and they put all the little Band-Aids on. And they said, "Dad, now we have the Band-Aids on." I said, "Yeah." In my mind, I was thinking, my God, they went through about $40 worth of big and little Band-Aids.
They're protected anyway.
Yep. But they used
Boy,
every one of
you
them.
use up that many Band-Aids, I'm gonna make sure you bleed so they don't go to waste.
I remember my dad talking about, and I don't know, I couldn't tell you when years ago, but like using a few of them for types of padding, elbow pad and knee pad, before they were really developing anything that they could use.
Yep, I've heard that too. Yeah.
They're multi-purpose.
Yep.
Oh, there's always a purpose anyway.
I bet you that'd be good for waxing the car.
See? The overnight ones, if they're not abrasive, sure.
Imagine you could stick them all over your arm and just go like this.
At a convention one time, we were playing a game. We had it set up like the dating game. And there were 3 guys, and there was 1 girl, and she's asking them questions. And this one guy honestly said this, not knowing what he said. She asked, "If we go out on a date, are you going to wear jockeys, boxers, or bikini briefs?" And he goes, "Depends." And the whole audience got it before he did.
Oh,
And it was like, no, wait, no, I meant it depends. We're like, too late, dude. That's your answer.
Oh,
there's no buyback.
Yeah.
Like the joke, what does the crotch of a 90-year-old woman smell like?
Yeah, you've said that joke before. You got to
No, I've never said that.
Yeah, you've said that joke many times.
Never.
Many times. All right, so here's the next video I want to show you guys. Have you ever been
I did lifeguard for many years, and one girl did come out and she had a bikini bottom on, and there was a string hanging out. And I was trying to think, do I say something or do I not say something? Should she find it out herself? And I just kind of scratched my nose and my cheek, and I kind of looked down and said, "Take a look," or something like that. I said, and she got pretty embarrassed, but she was glad I said something.
I said, "Hey, you didn't have the crabs bungee jump."
All right.
A meme I saw, it said, "Who lit the fuse on your tampon?"
Yeah, that's right. That's
Tails
right.
hanging out, lady.
So the next clip that I have for you guys, have you ever been to a wedding? Well, most of us have been to many weddings,
Thousands.
I'm sure. Have you ever been to weddings of people with funny last names? Well, here's a compilation of some. Don't think too much about this, and then we'll discuss it.
These are people with interesting names that just perchance, per fate, met each other and fell in love. I want to warn you, some of these are rude. There's the rather grim wedding. There's the strange and slappy wedding. The small husband wedding.
Oh my God.
It's the Reamer Orler wedding. All right. How about the Manly Pickle wedding? There's the Lusty Johnson wedding. How about the Wrinkle Johnson wedding? It's the Wiener Frost wedding.
So faithful.
It's hard to believe these two people met, but it's the Pecker Paradise wedding. It's the Crater Crotch wedding. It's the Couple of Dicks wedding. There's the Flint Stone wedding. There's the Funky wedding. Okay. There's the Broker Knuckles wedding. Okay, you get a little racer with the Bear Teats wedding. Might want to see a doctor if you go to the Tool Burns wedding. There's the Anus Biter wedding.
Unbelievable.
The Wide Hole wedding. Go Down Gross wedding. The Johnson Whacker wedding. The Semen Sample wedding.
No way.
The Cockman Dick. There's the Fight Stab wedding. How about a Miller Brewski, huh? Miller Brewski. It's the Money Hider wedding. It's the Tune Her Up wedding. There you go. It's the Gross Panty wedding. How about the Fur Burns wedding? Fur Burns wedding.
The hairy bush.
It's the Large Tinky wedding. It's the Hole Drilling wedding. It's the Widener Moore. There's the Sharp Pain wedding. There's the Outhouse Burns wedding. I like this one. Sal Schmel. Sal Schmel wedding. It's the Full of Beers wedding. Here's a couple that had his truck stolen. It's the Cokehead wedding. I mean, you know. What are they thinking? It looks like it. Look, they both look. He's handsome. She's beautiful. It's a lovely. He said, it's the Cokehead wedding. I mean, who doesn't see that? It's the Mouse Crap wedding. The Mouse Craps are getting together with the Cokeheads. What is the mouse doing? It's the Doer Early wedding. Breast Mash wedding. The Pickle Rider wedding. The Stranglin' Johnson wedding. There's the Cover Hickey wedding. There's the Ow! Get Downs wedding. There's the Bender Flat wedding. How about the savage hooker wedding? It's the Morlick wedding. Here's the legal rider wedding. Here is the Jägermeister wedding. Here are two people that were just made for each other. The Wiener and Burger wedding. Courtney Butt and Travis Pieper, the Butt Pieper wedding. Clymer Moore. Turner Bottoms. It's the crap beer wedding. Everyone smiling at the best lay nuptials. It's the Bush Rash wedding. It's the Nicer Hall wedding. It's the Beaver Wetter wedding. It's the Beaver Benders, wedding. And finally, it's the Wang Holder wedding, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God.
There you
Okay,
go.
I'm just wondering if the Fur Burns wedding led to the anus biter wedding. Also, if the breast mash wedding was two lesbians. And I just came from the crap beer wedding.
Yeah, we've all been to that wedding. You
I
know what's
gotta-
odd too
I
is
love
is
J-Lo.
how they you know the order in which they put the names by choice.
Uh-huh. Well, I think they're trying to do the husband first and the wife second at that.
I thought it was the wife first and the husband second, but
Wife first, then husband.
Oh,
Whichever makes the editor laugh his ass off. He's putting it in there.
Whichever
Well,
gets you
yeah,
on
there's
Leto.
you ever see how the football announcers, they say how they do things and make like make it dirty and they're not really trying. Like he's really shoving it in her and like he's running so hard. And they were showing that the other night how Troy Aikman and them always have these spoofs that you don't understand, that you don't catch. And these girls are watching and they're like, did he really say that? Like I never caught it, but
Oh yeah.
if
He
you
got a
listen,
lot of Tigers and stuff like
I
that.
remember that clip. It was two ladies and they were sitting on a couch reading romance novels. And there's a game playing, and all of a sudden they start looking up because they're talking about the balls and the way he juggles those balls.
yeah, the
Oh
way
no, he
goes,
takes it down right down the center here. And
yeah, because he
they're
shoves
like
it right
slowly
down
looking
the
up
center
from
and
their
he stuffs
books,
it
like
real hard inside
grabbing-
him. It's just, they're like looking at each other like, holy piss, did he just say that?
the stuff that you were never thinking about, huh? Unless you pay really good attention.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just figured I'd share that with you guys before we went live.
Where's
Get the live
Sammy
ready
at?
to- I don't know. I sent everybody the link, so
I haven't talked to him in a while. I don't know what he's doing.
I mean, I saw John earlier this week, or Roberts, because we did that interview at Carol's Cafe on Saturday.
Here's
Is
Rosie
that-
again.
Oh, you guys actually did
Ah,
do
look
that.
at the puppy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send you the YouTube link today.
Nice.
How old is the dog?
She's about 2.
Oh, she looks like a puppy.
Aw.
Yeah, she's a miniature Rottweiler.
Oh,
Aw.
they're cool. I want a real one. I want one of them big mad. My wife don't like big dogs. I got to get little dogs.
Well, she has one. She has a bad dog.
I have the mad dog, but I have a beagle who thinks he's I don't know what he plays with a rabbit. I have a free range roaming rabbit in my daughter's room, and the dog, I let a rabbit out of the cage in the morning to let it roam around the house a little bit, and then I'll let the beagle out, and the beagle will find him. And when he finds him, he plays with him. Jesus Christ, I got a dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
We have
well,
rabbits
As long
and
as he doesn't
parrots
play too rough.
and cats and a Doberman, and the parrot was the one who was in charge.
oh wow.
The two
Yeah,
cats thought they were going to get a parrot, and they start sneaking up on him. And the parrot just like he's sitting there watching them. They get close enough. Finally, he just puts out his wings and rah, 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 starts making all kinds of noise. And the cat's just like, screw this, and took off. Never messed with him again.
Hey, I used to rescue animals from the Humane Society. I had a bald one. You know, they lose their feathers every once in a while, and I had to keep them in clothes. And well, them things are smart though. The parrot.
This one time he was sitting on my father-in-law's shoulder. We were sitting around the table playing cards, and the Doberman was under the table, and his back end was sticking out by my father-in-law, and then his head was over in the next flap over, getting petted. Well, this bird ran down the arm, bit the dog's tail. The dog yelps, lifts his head, bangs into the table. Bird runs back up to the opposite shoulder and sits up there and starts laughing.
That's funny. That's that's how that goes, I guess.
We have a man down. We lost somebody.
Yeah, where'd Raj go?
Oh, he must. I don't know. It must be his connection or something.
I don't know. He
Well,
went
his
black
camera
and
went
had
off
his name
first.
there for a little bit, and then that went away.
Okay, well, he'll more likely come back, I'm sure.
He might be having technical difficulties.
Well, either that or the Wi-Fi could be. Oh yeah,
Here he comes.
You didn't get kicked or nothing.
The reason I've been looking so good lately is because I got one of these.
Oh, it's not your natural beauty at all?
Yeah, because I normally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound like one of them referees on a Sunday football game, huh?
All right. Well, I got the live already. I'll share it with you guys here. But we are live now on the Facebook page. And I did make a new page because earlier this week, last week I had my page hacked. Funny story how that happened.
You did?
Well, you see, it wasn't on my end. It wasn't on purpose. I was actually trying to be very helpful when this happened. Somebody who was a friend of mine on Facebook, who I barely ever talked to, but I thought, well, I didn't think that I was getting hacked at the time. I just thought I was doing something nice for somebody. So, story goes, on Wednesday evening, when I was coming back from Fargo, friend said that his Facebook page got hacked or got locked up or whatever, and so he needed my phone number to unlock it. I was thinking just to send me a code just so I could help him unlock his page. Didn't think that I was going to be getting what happened afterwards. So, well, I didn't know. Bobby Dragler, he was the one that sent that to me, and I was just like, I never talked to the guy. I mean, we've had him on the show and stuff, but I thought like it's somebody I talk to every day or whatever. But I thought, well, if I could help him out, then I'm doing a good, no problem, So I gave him my number, and then all of a sudden, about a couple of minutes later, I got logged out on my Facebook, and I was just like, well, what's going on? Okay, I'll just relog in and whatever. Well,
probably somebody spoofed him and then used that relationship.
Yeah. Come to find out, somebody from India or whatever had the iPhone 22 or whatever it was, and didn't say anything about Minneapolis. Had his phone number and everything, but not. It wasn't.
No good deed goes unpunished.
They did that to me too, and I haven't.
They did that to me too.
Well, I was unfortunate enough. I've had this page for 15 years. I know it probably doesn't sound like a long time, but it was a long time. I've done a lot of things with it and stuff. It's really
so. What happens to it?
Well, it gets locked. The person tried to delete all my information as far as my login and everything, and then I couldn't log in. Then I had to rechange it, and so many times after you do that, then your page is locked. And so, in order to get my page back, I had to give them my ID or a copy of my ID, and to prove that it was me. And then
give who? The guy who hacked you, or
no, Facebook. I did it through the WhatsApp or whatever thing.
Okay.
And so about 4 days later, yesterday afternoon, then I get a message saying that my page has been unlocked and I can use it again. And I was just like, oh, thank God, because the backup page that I had that I had from my South Dakota days, I couldn't even really send anybody a friend request. And it was like, oh God, do I really have to start all over?
So you got it back now?
Oh
And
yeah, it's
okay.
fine now. I'll
Wow.
never do that again. As far as because I thought I was helping somebody, and come to find out that's been happening a lot lately. Mama T said it happened to her, but like more
But they
people are
changed
experiencing it. Yeah,
they changed the email and the password and everything
yeah.
on it. And
Wow.
Did
So
you get yours back, Mama T?
no, I lost
God.
3 years of videos, messages, live recordings of Bobby, all of it.
yeah, it was just terrible. I just couldn't believe that would even happen. Because I was just like, man, I just don't want to start all over. I'd hate to have to do that. That was a lot of work, a lot of hours, a lot of time trying to build a social media thing, and what I'm having planned now for going on in the future with what we're doing here. I'm working with somebody on the side to help us grow. We'll just say because
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I feel like we work together pretty well, but I need a little bit more help on the side of getting us to grow more. So I'm not talking about adding in a lot more people or whatever. I'm saying just I have a person
Formatting.
I have a person that's going to help us get get this train really rolling here. So
Gee, do I know this person?
well, no, actually, you don't. I mentioned to you about him, but I don't think you remember.
Hmm.
But it's okay.
Jean-Claude.
We're going to be working with some people here soon that want to actually sponsor the podcast and everything, and
My
working
picture
with some
keeps on going up.
working with some people that are from that are other podcasters that are trying to get their foot in the door and everything, and we can help each other and yeah, it'll be a good thing. So I'm pretty excited about the opportunity to see where this goes anyway. So,
Well,
but anyway,
that's what
yeah.
Sean and I, that's what you and I were talking about. Starting my podcast.
Yeah, everybody that just got in the room here. This is Roger Rivera. He's from our area.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Roger.
I want to start a podcast. I had a mouse in my convenience store, and he kept eating all my Rolos, and so I named him Rolo. And anyway, I finally caught Rolo and let him go. But in the story, he goes on adventures, and he has a bunch of friends. And he actually was overweight at my convenience store, and he got his name Rolo because he ate all the Rolos, and he ate about 15 rolls of Rolos, and anyway, I sent him to a fat farm, and he's all mad because he's overweight, but he's got to run on a hamster wheel. He says, I'm a mouse, not a hamster. And he runs and he runs and he runs. And he gets all buff and he gets all trimmed up. And then he goes back to the convenience store. And all the little girl mice like him now. And all the little boy mice want to be like him. And then he starts out on his adventures of Rolo the Mouse.
Good one.
Yeah, well, he wants to
remember
turn
me?
some stories.
What's that? Oh, Rolo?
Me, Roger, you're a year younger than I am. Huh?
Oh, yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
all
know.
right. My name's not Lori.
Do you know? Do you guys know each other at all?
He's a year younger than I am. Your dad, he was auto bike teacher at the college.
Yep.
I'm class of '83. You're class of '84.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
Robbie was my real name, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad passed away about 6 years ago, and he was a storyteller
Yeah, I heard
too.
that.
He was a storyteller
Yeah,
too, and I guess I've got the gift of gab of storytelling.
Yeah, I met Roger at the casino because he worked at the casino with me.
Yep. And
he wanted to be on the podcast, so I decided, oh, sure, why not? You're local.
Here we go.
By, so
here we go.
Absolutely.
You bet.
All right,
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The interview anyway. You can check that out.
Jean-Claude.
Well, anyway, welcome to season 3, episode number 19 of Renegade Radio. I'm your host with the most, Frankie Slauson, and we're one episode away from next week being our season 3 finale episode. Can you believe that? 20 episodes we've already will have accomplished since the summertime.
That's
Hard to
pretty
believe
cool.
already. Had some good guests on. By the time that the our show is over for the season anyway, we will probably have had at least probably close to 70 people on the show. So it's all thanks to everybody. It's not just me. It's everybody. Because we've had some help, along the way. We're gonna get some more help too in the future. But for everybody that's helped me get guests and stuff, or had some ideas, I do want to say thank you for sharing those ideas on here and trying to help create something magical, because that's what my vision has always been about. Just want to bring people together and have the ultimate show, and we all have a lot in common. And it's been a mixed mass of people and everything, but for the ones that have been here, pretty much since the beginning, and who you are, I couldn't do it without you, so it's good that we got a good team here of people. We're gonna do some stuff with some advertisers here pretty soon. I've been on the phone with talking to some people, and we're gonna take this seriously. I really feel like this is the next step, to take for the future of the show and everything. So, what does that mean financially? I have no idea. All I know is that it just means that more people are going to pay more attention to us. I'm going to be invited to some podcasts to help promote the next season in the next couple of months. So tomorrow night I'll be on the Jim the Sherpa podcast, Sherpa, his podcast tomorrow night at 8:00, and then on the 30th of November on Saturday, 2 days after Thanksgiving, I'm going to be on the another podcast of a lady from Alaska that is doing some stuff on podcasts and stuff. So got invited. So should be a good time. Should be a lot of fun. Tonight we got a full cast of crew. We got Mama T, we got DJ Ken, we got Mad Dog, we got special effects guy Lance Warlock.
I'm showing celebratory excitement.
Oh, that's great.
But being quiet about
I thought you were showing condoms and stuff on the little balloons and the little rubbers or whatever.
Listen, I'm limited here.
Yeah. We got newcomer Roger Rivera, and we got Antique Man. And,
Greetings.
John Roberts, a fellow crew member. We just did an interview with John here on Saturday that I hope everybody got a chance to see, and if you haven't yet. So it was a really good interview.
Try FaceTime.
And then last but certainly not least, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who I really couldn't do this show without, my co-host and co-creator and co-founder, Sweden Sam. How's it going?
Going good here.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I got a colon cleansing this weekend.
Really? So we're gonna hear more stand-up about that next time, or what?
I'm just gonna say.
We don't have to go through that again.
No.
Oh. Well, anyway, so we watched some videos on the pre-show, and for those that weren't here on the pre-show, you guys want to kind of explain to John and Sam and Antique Man what they missed? Anybody want to tell them?
Well, we did have one of those Jay Leno things with the funny couples that are getting married and marriage announcements, and some of the funnier ones were like anus biter, breast mash. They weren't lesbians. Stabbing hooker, which may have led to the Fur Burns wedding. And then the one I just came from, the crap beer.
And the Dick and Cider wedding.
Yeah. Well, those are actual real last names of people who fell in love or whatever. I thought that's kind of funny. Most of us have been to a lot of weddings. I mean,
fucker.
John Roberts, have you ever been to any funny last name weddings at all, where you just couldn't believe that you're actually at this wedding?
I don't know about the funny last names, but up in our neck of the woods, if you go up by like Stephen or Argyle or Donaldson, where all the Polacks live, you get these people's names. They're like 19 letters, and there's no vowels in them. and then they're not even pronounced anywhere near the way they're spelled, that's about it.
Two
Yeah,
letters
you know
and
why
we
you
pronounce
pull
it
out your
Smith.
name in ski, don't you? I think I told that
What?
last week. But you couldn't
Yeah.
spell toboggan.
Yeah, that was definitely a joke you said last time.
I lifeguarded up at Florian Park, and every single person there, I think, was a SKI name or some kind of, like you said, a long last name with no letters that made sense. And I taught swimming. I taught swimming to all those little kids, and I could not say their last names.
I called the World Junior Hockey Tournament. In fact, I was invited by the mayor of Thief River at that time, Dale Wenberg, to go call games during that tournament. I called like 20 or 19 games. I think I did the arena announcing at that World Tournament, but it was all I did a lot of the European teams, and you'd meet with their media people because these names are incredible. I'm doing the Slovakias and the Russias and the Germans and their names are crazy. And one thing I learned in radio, as long as you sound like you know what you're talking about, 99% of the people are going to believe you, especially if they're
That's funny.
Europeans up here and from Canada in the middle of the United States. So I would just whip off these names like I knew I was talking about, and you could see the players on the bench. They'd elbow each other, and you could see they were chuckling, and you knew they were chuckling because I probably just butchered their names, and that's the last thing you want to do is being an announcer. I'm usually very I'm spot on. I meet with coaches. I get pronunciations at the racetracks. I do the same thing, but it happens. It
You know, I
happens,
wondered
and
about
it's
that.
at
I
least
wondered
they
how they do
event.
that.
I was doing an event one time,
Yep.
and it was
Well,
the NCAA women's volleyball, and one of the teams was all Croatian women, and it was incredible. They were all like 6 foot and gorgeous, but the guy who's going to be on the mic comes over. He goes, "I can't pronounce any of these names," and my family is Croatian, so I looked at the list. I'm like, "Oh, that's easy." He's like, "You can pronounce these?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I ran through the list with him, and he was like, "Oh." He made notes how to do it phonetically.
Yep. That's the way you
so
do.
That he
You
could get them
spell
right.
everything phonetically.
Yeah.
You'll ask a coach a pronunciation or their media person, and they'll tell you the name, and I'll start spelling it. Okay, say that again, and I'll spell it, and they'll go, "No, it's not spelled that way." And I'm like, I don't want to hear how it's spelled. I'm gonna write it down. But funniest story I ever did quickly. I did a section championship high school basketball game one time, and it was Red Lake Indian Reservation. So it was Red Lake against the Chief Bugana School. Only 2 native schools in the district, and they were playing in the championship game. And it was so crazy. It was like calling wildlife playing basketball because it was the running this, the eating that, the sitting that, and it was so weird. There was no Nelson, Hansen, Olsen, or Johnsons like we're used to doing, but boy,
Two dogs fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, guys.
I also called Reba McIntyre Reba McKintry one time. I didn't know who she was.
Well, that's an honest mistake.
I
anyway.
just started. Here's Reba McKintry. First phone call, it's Reba McIntyre, dumbass, and then they hang up.
Well, I was going to say, we got a guest. We got 3 guests coming up tonight. This is our first guest of the night. His name is Frankie Pace. He's a comedian. He's been on Saturday Night Live, and he's done some cool things in the comedy world. And we're just honored to have him. Welcome, Frankie. Can you hear me? Pretty
Yeah,
good?
can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
I can't see you.
Hey,
Can you see
Frankie.
me? You can
So
put it
another-
on if you want.
So there's another Frankie, and then we got our second Frankie coming on a little bit later on tonight. A guy named Frankie Ray and a friend of his, RHINO Michaels, who was a stuntman for Steven Seagal, and Frankie's Ray's movie Bad Haircut. They released a trailer for that because they're doing a Kickstarter. So anyway, these are some of the guests that the guy that is helping me, Steven. Joiner, he's
Welcome.
help get for us. So yes, welcome, Frankie. And we just are tickle pink to get you on the show. It's pretty exciting. Can you hear me?
Were you talking to me or?
Yep.
Oh,
I'm talking to you.
I don't know what the hell's going on here. You know,
You're not
fucking old man.
alone.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
it
at
gets
all.
to be a lot of people
As
here,
you can see.
but what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of do a round robin style, just because it just makes it easier, just to pick somebody to ask questions, and then we'll just I'll just randomly pick. That way, we're not gonna bombard our guests with all at the same time. It just seems to work out better that way. A lot of people like that idea.
So when you're talking to me, my light goes on. Is that what it is? I got a green square around my face.
Yep. That means that you're talking. Now I'm talking. I took the square away from you. It's like Hollywood Square is the new version of it.
Ooh,
And
okay.
there is a sound delay too.
Well, it depends on how good of a connection you have. Everybody's connection is different, so somebody might hear you a few seconds
Frankie and I'll
after.
get along good. Frankie and I'll get along good because I don't know how to work a computer either, man.
We're old school, right, Frankie?
That's right. That's right. Well, anyway, as far as having you on the show and being here tonight, we want to know as much about you as you can tell us, because you're one of those guys who have done a lot of things in the industry, but I feel like you kind of one of the unknowns, kind of, because we don't hear about guys like you on the media or anything like that too much or at all. At least I haven't anyway. Um, Tell us a little bit about your story, like your early beginnings and what life was like, before you kind of hit it big.
Talking to me now?
I'm talking to you, Frankie.
Oh,
I'm talking
okay.
to you. I'm talking to you.
So it started out, I came out of my mother's womb and I was smoking some weed at the time. No,
Middle-income family.
basically I was a plumber, okay? In fact, I was a silver brazier at the World Trade Center when I was building the towers. And I met this beautiful blonde and we got married. And life was great, but then I started getting really bored because I didn't like the job that my father got me. And my wife says, go to this comedy club in Massapequa. And
Long Island Comedy Club.
Yeah, it's called the White House Inn. It was called the White.
Yeah.
So go to hang out down and see if you like comedy, So I went down there and I met this nut job, Richard M. Dixon. And he's one of these guys like, I'm the wheel, you're the spokes. He was nuts, So you got to come down on Wednesday night, Frankie, and look at the professionals, So I'm going, oh, shit, I got to. So they made me come down and made me pay the $2. In those days, it was like $2. But I saw this line going around the corner, and I'm going like, what? Holy shit. What? This is for comedy? I didn't know what it was, So I paid the $2. I went inside and I sat down and I saw Bob Nelson, Eddie Murphy, Jackie Martlin, Richie Minervini, and all these guys. It was a Wednesday night and the place was packed. And I just looked in awe and I says, shit, I got to do this, man. I got to do this. So I started hanging out on Sunday nights. I wasn't getting paid. And he would say shits like, well, you're B9. That sounds good, doesn't it? You're a B9. But it didn't tell you that there's A1, A2, A3, A4, A44, So I'm there till like around 11 at night. And I got to go to work the next day because I'm a plumber. So I got up there and I did 5 minutes and bombed. You could hear crickets outside. It was terrible. But I kept going. My wife insisted I keep going. And then I, kind of got friendly with Eddie. And Bob Nelson was an inspiration to me. You know Bob Nelson at all?
No.
And you guys, well, Bob Nelson was on the Tonight Show, and he did the football routine with the balloon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Leon Wilson, number 72. No,
Yeah, oh, shit, I'm
27.
27.
Yeah, right. That's him. And Bobby saw me faltering, and he said, you're a French cartoon. And I looked at him, I was, the fuck is wrong with this guy, He says, you're a French cartoon. You should be doing props. So I looked and I said, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing here, So I did it for like 2 months. and it wasn't going well. It was going terrible. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Writing material, it was all shit. It was terrible. Nobody listened to me. So I told my wife, I says, I got one more show, and if it doesn't work, it's back to plumbing. So she says, well, I'm coming with you. I said, she came with me. And I have my little daughter. She had her hat. It's one of these hats that you pull over your head for little kids, and it's got an open face, so she could have her face sticking out. And it fell out of the car, so I put it in my back pocket. And I went into the club and I started bombing again. So somebody says, hey, what's that thing in your pocket? And I put it on and I said, it's a Polish bank robber. And I got a fucking huge laugh. And that started the spark. Before I knew it, I had a suitcase. I was running out buying toilet paper. I took shit off the job, a piece of wire. I made a sneeze in space and all this other crap. And Eddie would come in and see me and laugh his ass off. And he wanted me to do this one particular joke that I would do for him. Was the cigar holders? That's like a case or one cigar. So I make believe like I don't have a pen or nothing there, but I go like, what is this thing? Oh fuck! And I make it attack my ass, and Eddie would be laughing like, So we became friendly and all that. And I was friends with the guys, and I started working, and in those days, all the comics grabbed a club. They got a club, and everybody worked. So we worked out in the island. We worked 4 nights a week, doing 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And in the city, those comics would wait a week to do 5 minutes. So we were advancing very fast. And they hated us. They called us all suitcase comics, And but we kept doing it. And then I started going into the city when I was ready. And naturally, I passed all the clubs immediately. And even I'm 78 now, so I'm forgetting shit. Okay. Bill Maher is the MC there, and Rick, the owner of Catch a Rising Star, says this guy's going to be a regular, and Bill goes, I found him. I turned to him. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? You found me, man. So I started hanging out there, and Joy Bayard hung out. I'm dropping names, but I don't give a shit. And Richard Belzer, Gilbert Godfrey. You remember Gilbert Godfrey?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I was talking to God yesterday, and Hitler walked into the room. That was Gilbert. He was a fucking genius. I loved him. I loved that kid.
Him
And
and Bobcat Goldthwait were my favorites.
what's that?
Him and Bob Goldthwait were my favorites.
No, Bob Goldthwait. Bob was real. He was a nice kid. He was fucking weird though. To me, he was weird. But anyway, I started hanging out in there, and they make us. I'm going to really speed it up because if I tell you all this shit that I know, we'll be here for hours. So what happened was they needed Eddie. Eventually got Saturday Night Live, but it wasn't right away. It was Charlie Barnett. I love Charlie Barnett. Charlie Barnett was the pick for the next black comedian to do Saturday, and they didn't like Eddie. And later on, they found out Charlie couldn't read and he was dyslexic, so they had to let him go. But they had the same manager, Bobby Wax and Richie Tinkin. So Bobby Wax says, "All right, we'll let Charlie go if you take Eddie." So they says, "All right, we'll take Eddie." Says, "All right, but you still got to pay Charlie $250,000 because." What do you mean? Because well, it's contract. He signed it with an X because that's how he signs. So they were pissed off. Meanwhile, Eddie got Saturday Night Live, but a lot of the comics were not happy about it. And I went up to Eddie and I congratulated him and gave him a hug and everything. And I guess he never forgot that, And going now, I'm speeding it up. I'm going to speed it up because I can see some of you guys look fucking bored. So I'm doing a spot, and one of the guys comes up and tells me, "Hey, listen, they're going to use you on SNL because they need 3 comedians. Eddie's doing 48 hours, and he needs 2 weeks off to do the movie. So they want to do 2 shows in 1 week. They want to use you guys to keep the crowd going." So I said, "All right." So I brought my box, my suitcase, and all this shit, and I'm waiting there, and the first 2 comics ate it. So now they decided they're not going to do the comedy. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this sucks, you know? So Eddie's walking around. He sees me. He goes, hey, Pace. He never called me Frankie. He goes, hey, Pace, what are you doing here? I said, well, you know, I was going to do the warm-ups for the, you know, for your show and everything, but I guess the first two acts didn't do well, so they're going to let me go. But I wish you well with the movie and all that stuff, you know. And he, you know, he hugged me, I hugged him back, and I went to the elevator, and all of a sudden, Dick Ebersol comes running out, you know. Frankie, what are you doing? I said, well, you know, I'm going home. What the fuck? No, we're gonna pay you. We're gonna pay you for tonight. I went, oh, this is great. I'm getting $500. Holy shit, you know. He said, oh, and by the way, Eddie says you're very funny. I should come and see you. Where can I come and see you? I said, Catch a Rising Star. So I go down there, and Bill Morris, the MC. And I go to now I know what he's going to do if he knows what's going on. These, you know, comics are comics, man. It's all about, you know, who's going to get ahead. So if I say anything, I know he's going to like go up there and do an hour, you know. So I says, listen, I got this club owner. He's got 20 places to work. He's going to come down and see me, and he owns a couple of restaurants too. And you know, if I get this audition done, you can work too, you know, Bill. She goes, all right, I'll give you the spot. I'll give you the spot. So now it's Monday night, and he goes, all right, so you're bullshitting me, huh? There's nobody here. Where is this guy? Who are you talking about? All of a sudden, Dick Ebersol walks in and goes, hi, Frankie, you ready to go on? And Bill's mouth just dropped. He didn't know what to say, you know. But he did go up and do 20 minutes. He shouldn't have done that. Should have brought me right up. But he went and did 20 minutes, and I went up and did 20 minutes, and my 20 minutes kicked ass like crazy. So Dick Ebersol comes over and he says, okay, that's great. The 20 is great, but I need 5 minutes. So practice your 5 minutes. So me and my friend Mike Little, and God bless Mike, because Mike let me stay in Manhattan because I lived all the way out on the island, and I would sleep over there 3 nights a week after doing plumbing during the day. And to get this 5 minute shit going, we would go from club to club every night, you know. And I couldn't get them on the phone all of a sudden. And then I ran into my friend Mark Petrarca, who was an agent for William Morris, and he started out in the mailroom. You know, in the mailroom they make these young kids start out.
Sure.
And I said, Mark, you want to get out of that fucking mailroom? You got to call up Saturday Night Live and ask him when the hell am I going to get this audition? You know. So he did. And then I ran into Robin because Robin and I did improvs once in a while. And I asked Robin if he would do it. And he said, yeah, he would talk to them too, you know. So, this is a long fucking story.
Oh, we love it, man. We'll talk as much as you like.
Okay.
For time, man.
Yeah, and if I look like I'm bored, I'm in pain. I'm not bored. I'm just in pain. My neck hurts really bad tonight.
Is it really? You want me to massage it for you?
My lord.
I use my tongue.
Yeah, my hemorrhoids are hurting, so I'm not in pain.
Right, I'll use my tongue. Not on your hemorrhoids. I use my dick on your hemorrhoids. All right, so now I'm all told. Where the fuck am I now? Okay, so
That Robin.
all right, so Robin went and talked to Dick Ebersol, and later on, my manager calls me up. Now he's becoming my agent, not my manager, my agent, Mark Petrarca. I says, you get me on Saturday Night Live. William Morris is going to make you a fucking agent. You won't be doing the mail anymore. He says, yeah, he was all excited. So he calls up and he says, they're going to come and see you again. But he fucked up. He called up the club and he said, oh, this is Mark Petrarca from William Morris, and I have another audition for Frankie Pace for Saturday Night Live, and we'd like it to be Thursday night at 10 o'clock. And they went, yeah, okay, thanks a lot. And every fucking comic that was in a club auditioned before me. And they're all doing like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and they're all shaking in their boots. You know, Dick Ebersol's sitting there, you know, and they're all like fucking up left and right. The MC's not doing his job. He's fucking up left and right. I'm in the back pulling whatever hair I got left in my head. You know, I'm like, oh, Jesus, I don't believe this shit, you know? So, I forget his name now. This comic that was on shit. I should have wrote this shit down. Anyway, he came over to me and goes, Frank, what they're doing to you is not right, you know. I know what you're going through. I tell you what, I'm gonna go, and nobody can get the crowd. Nobody can get the crowd. The crowd was not going for any of these comics because their timing was off, you know. They were so nervous They were doing 20 minutes. He didn't want 20 minutes. He wanted 5 minutes. I didn't tell anybody that either. So now they're all bombing left and right. And he comes over and goes, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to get him within 3 minutes. And then I'm going to mention your name. I want you to run up real fast. Don't let the MC get in front of you because he'll do 20 again and fuck up the crowd. So you get up there. And if he's behind you, he can't get up. So long story short, he fucking kills. He's killing him. He's like, I want to bring up my friend Frankie Pace, right? And he brings me up there, and I do the 5 minutes, and the place is roaring. Everybody's like having a great time. I walked off totally depressed. I went into the bathroom to take a leak. Somebody's tapping me on the shoulder. I almost pissed on him. Like Emerson was there, tapping me on the shoulder. He goes, "You're going to do the show." I says, "Okay, great. Going to do the show. You know, it's great." 2 months go by. Nothing's happening, right? Nothing's. I'm going out of my mind. I go, Mark, we got to do something. So he's calling every day. I ran into Robin again. Robin had to, he like emceed the show. Everybody emcees the show. So Robin was emceeing the show that week. And I guess I hope he talked to him again. And then they finally decided, I had my car on the lift. I was in the garage. It was a Friday. And my mechanic gets a phone call. He goes, "Hey, Frankie, there's a guy on the phone who wants to talk to you." I says, "Oh, who is it?" He goes, "I don't know." Which is, I don't know. I said, "Well, what's his name?" He goes, "I don't know. Willie Morris." You know, I ran over there. I got the phone. It was my agent. He goes, "You got to get your ass down here. You're doing Saturday Night Live tomorrow night. So you got to come down here to do the blocking." So I got the car down and grabbed my shit, ran down there. And they do blocking and make sure that they got everything right, you know. And so I'm on. Next night, I get there, and I find out my spot is like 12:50. Like, you know, that's the time where everybody shuts their TVs off and goes to bed. So I'm fucked again. You know? So, now I believe there's a God. I do believe there's a God, man, because I'm with my friend Barry Berry. Barry was one of the writers for Living Color. I don't know if you remember that show.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Him and Franklin, the guy. Me and Barry were very close. I lived with him for a while in Las Vegas. I mean, in Las Vegas, Los Angeles. And I said, "Barry, why don't you come with me? We could, you know." So yeah, all right, man, I'll come, you know. So he came, and they taped the first show, and the group that got the great spot was Madness. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Yeah, I actually have.
They sing that song,
yeah.
"Our House in the Middle of the
Our
Street."
house in the middle of the
Yeah.
street.
Okay. And they were so fucking stoned. The sax player was playing off key. The other guy was singing off key. I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? And Dick Ebersol comes in because they taped the first show to see what's going on, you know. Then they decide what they're going to do for the live show. So Dick Ebersol comes into my room, my dressing room, and he goes, "You're going to get was it the 10:50 spot? I think it is, or 11:50 spot, 10 to 12. And that's a primo spot." So, you know, I was like, holy shit, what's going on? They switched those guys. So I'm going to get ready to go out on stage, and fucking Barry goes, "Have fun, man. 25 million watching." I was getting my pants.
Puckered up, didn't you?
Yeah. So I went out there, did the show,
Watertight.
you know, and phones were ringing like crazy, and people were going nuts. One of my friends fell out of bed. He says, I couldn't believe that was you. Holy shit, what's going on?" And you know, people started calling me. I started getting dates, and there you go.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's pretty
pretty-
cool.
Oh yeah, that is cool. That is cool.
I was in the Best Western one night, and Phil what's his name?
Hartman.
Phil Hartman. Yeah, he was in there, and I was telling him stories, deer hunting stories and duck hunting stories. He was laughing so hard the tears were coming out of his eyes because I got some pretty funny deer hunting stories and duck hunting stories. And then I told him about my Norwegian zipper wrap. It's where I put a microphone down my pants and I put another one up, and I do a rap, and then I use the zipper as the music. And he says, and Phil looks at me and says, "What are you doing down there?" I said, "That's the music part." He said, I can't hear it. I said, well, get on your knees so you can hear it. And he started going down on his knees, and Phil Hansen jumps up. He says, I'm not getting on my knees in front of you in a bar. He said, no, that's funny. He said, you mind if I do that on Saturday Night Live? And I said, nah, go ahead. I don't know if he ever did it, but he said he was going to.
I was doing Jimmy Fallon's show, and they wanted me to play a Kiss punk rocker. And I did this video bit. So I was all dressed up in, leather garb and all this crap and everything. So I had to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, standing in the stall, and Martin Short comes in next to me. You know Martin Short?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's standing next to me. So I look at him and I go, hey, Martin, you're short. You should be taller. So he turns to me, looks at me, goes, I know, I'm having trouble trying to reach the urinal. I was pissed all over the wall. I was laughing so fucking hard, And he was really a sweet guy. And then I was learning my lines, for the song. And I hear Frankie Pace in the house. I go, who the fuck is that? It's Adam Sandler, Adam.
Yeah.
So he comes over and we're sitting and we're talking. And we're talking. I asked him how Chris is doing, Chris Rock. I said, I remember Chris when he was just a kid, He went out and he went out in the crowd one day. He was at the comic strip. He went on stage, and he was just new young kid, and he did 10 jokes and they didn't work. So he got mad. He started kicking the chairs as he came off the stage. So I grabbed him. I said, Chris, come over here. Chris, he goes, why? I said, hey, listen, you did 10 jokes. They didn't work out. But let me tell you something. You just don't write 10 jokes and expect all of them to work. You got to write 100 jokes, and maybe you'll get 10 out of the 100, and they got to be kick-ass jokes, because when you got a shitty fucking crowd, it's still going to work, And from that day on, we always got along, and he was pretty cool,
Hey, Frankie, did you ever meet Sam Kinison?
Sam, yeah. We used to play Pac-Man at fucking 4 in the morning. He wanted to get into Catch a Rising Star, and they didn't like him. And I'm going, what the fuck is wrong with these people, man? So he talked to Robin, and Robin talked to the club, right? You know that, right? And he talked to the club. Oh, what happened? I lost everybody.
No, we're here. We got you.
I don't see anybody. What the fuck?
Probably swipe with your finger.
Swipe with your finger over.
Put my finger over it?
Yeah, to the left.
On a wow.
Slide your screen to the left.
I don't know what to touch there.
Go like that. Just touch the screen.
Just take the screen and swipe it to the left.
Yeah, he's on a computer.
I'm on my computer. I don't know what the fuck I just did. Anyway, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can see you too.
We can see you.
Oh, what's the shit that's on here? My fucking glasses are shot too, I think.
Hit,
I don't know what
hit the right arrow button on your computer.
Right arrow button on my computer. There is no right arrow button. There is a post.
No, on the keyboard.
Oh. Okay.
It's pointed to the right.
Nothing. I got nothing.
All right. I don't know.
I see you.
Well,
You see me? All right.
We all see you.
I don't see you guys, so maybe it's better for me. All right. So,
Hey, I resemble that remark.
okay. So I don't forget what the fuck I was talking about. What was I talking about?
About Sam Kinison.
Oh yeah. So,
Robin was getting Kinison
so
on.
Sam comes in and he starts doing this screaming thing, in people's faces, and nobody's going for it. This is the same club too. You got to understand, you get weird people in there. Robin Williams did like 8 minutes and then walked out because they weren't laughing. So
Wow.
Sam came off the stage and goes, fucking crowd sucks. So I grabbed him, I pulled him to the side. I said, listen, let me tell you something. This is a fucked up room, okay? Sometimes you get great people. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. Tonight, you got a bunch of guys in suits that sell fucking shit all day. They come here to relax, drink a few drinks. Maybe if they're lucky, they'll get a blowjob from some fucking broad tonight or something, and that's it. But let me tell you something else. In the back, the guys that were laughing in the back, those are guys in rock. They're rockers. They were, from a band or something. I says, that's your fucking audience, man. So he looked at me. He didn't know what to say. I said, yeah, that's your fucking audience. And I was wearing a beret at the time, and guess who was wearing a beret now? Sam. Well, I was impressed, He was a sweetest. The only thing I couldn't understand, I told him we were at Universal out in LA, and I said, Sam, I don't understand it, man. how can you do coke and have a 60-inch waist? How the fuck do you do that? He started laughing and grabbed his air, and started breathing his fucking air in. That was the last time I saw him, though. But sad story.
We're going to be getting Joey Gaynor on next week, and I know he has some stories about.
Oh
Sam
yeah,
Kinison
Joey's
as well.
got a ton. Joey's got a ton of fucking stories.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
we all
Absolutely.
do. Everybody working at the store. I asked Richard Pryor at the store once. I said, Richard, how do you make it in this fucking business? So he just looked at me and said, Frankie, get rid of your obstacles. And I said, my obstacles? He goes, yeah, your wife, your kids, your integrity. He just looked at us. You're a sick fuck, man. So, and Joe Rogan started out there, He hit on my daughter. He hit on my daughter one night. My daughter says, he says, you know who my father is, right? He goes, Frankie Pace. Goes, oh, okay. But there's a lot of people came out of there, man. It was a fun place. So was Catch. Richard Belzer was funny. Gilbert was hysterical. And we would go to the Green Kitchen after the show, and I ordered hamburgers, hamburger and fries, and I went to wash my hands in the men's room. And I came back, and Gilly's eating my fucking fries, and I'm staring at him going, what are you doing? He goes, these are delicious. I go, I says, you like fries, huh? So I went to the guy. He says, give me a big bowl of fries. He said, well, that's going to cost like $20. I said, I don't give a fuck what it costs. Give me the bowl of fries. So I bring this big bowl of fries. I put it on the table. I says, you're going to eat every one of these fucking fries. And he just looked at me. And he tried. He tried to fucking eat them, That's just one of the stupid, crazy stories,
Well, there's a reason this guy asked you about Sam Kinison.
What about him?
I did a tribute to him for years. I did a tribute show of Sam.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Back in the day, I looked just like him.
So you know him well then.
Well, I know Bill real good, his brother.
Oh, you know his brother? Yeah.
Yeah. I never met Sam.
Oh, you never met Sam? Sam was a sweetheart. Let me tell you, he was a sweetheart.
Yeah, his brother's the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill's a great guy.
Me and Rodney, we were oil and water. Never got along with that fuck.
Oh, really?
Never got along with him. He embarrassed me at Cafe Roma. I wanted to fucking knock him out right there.
Really?
Yeah, had my daughter there and all her friends, and I worked this club for like 2 years as a headliner at Dangerfields, which paid shit. It was a shit. It was run by Tony Pavacqua. I think Rodney used his name and they gave him a cut of the door or whatever the fucking deal was there. And
Is that Rodney Dangerfield?
It helped watch a lot of comedians.
I was fishing up in Canada, way up in Canada, and Rodney Dangerfield was sitting around the campfire. And I told my dad, I said, Dad, I think that's Rodney Dangerfield. He sounded like him, looked like him, kept doing this here. And my dad finally said, are you Rodney? And he smiled and said, yep. He said, I just use a different name sometimes. I don't remember what he was using.
Well, something, he's like one man's meat's another man's poison.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked this club.
Nice.
I worked this club for 2 years. He knows who I am. I was supposed to do Easy Money with him, but he had a fight with the director, and they put in a new director that didn't want me, so they got Joe Pesci, which is okay. I mean, he's a great actor. So my daughter came down from San Rafael up in up north of California, and she had her friends with her. She says, "Oh, there's Rodney coming in. You think he'll say hello?" I says, "Look, he's kind of a fucking weirdo. I says, maybe he'll just wave. I'll ask him." So I went over and I asked him, and he was being a prick about it. I got really fucking mad. I was ready to knock him out, man. I tell you, I just didn't like that, But he's had his run-ins with Dennis Miller. Dennis Miller fucking pulled him over the coals at Catch one night and made him look like a fucking jerk. And then there's guys that loved him, like Jackie Marling and a lot of other comics that loved him. Him and Sam got along great. That was pretty cool, So,
cool.
that's it,
Oh, that's understandable. I mean, hey, you can't like everything, but.
Yeah, well, I'm not pulling any punches here.
That's right. That's right.
Fuck yes, I'm 78. I don't give a shit anymore, man. I did my run. I did my run, and then I got fucking COVID. I got pneumonia in my lungs, and had to move out to Vegas for the dry air. And my daughter lives nearby. That's why I moved out
Oh,
here.
you're in Vegas now?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I bought a house in Vegas a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah, I'm there right now.
Oh, you are. Oh, okay.
I was
Go
in
ahead.
Las Vegas playing cards and looked over to my right, and David Hasselhoff was sitting shoulder to shoulder with me. And I looked
cool.
over and I said, "Hey, aren't you David Hasselhoff?" He says, "I'm David Hasselhoff." I said, "Well, I'm Roger Rivera." I said, "And I'm a real lifeguard." and he said, "Yeah, I just played one on TV." I said, "Yeah, but you played one with Pamela Anderson." He said, "That was no big deal." And I said, "No, that was two big deals." And he laughed and said, "Yeah, I suppose you're right." And I talked to him for a couple hours. He was real nice, I thought.
Yeah, it's cool.
He's
Some
like
of them are
60.
nice. Some of them are weirdos, man. You know.
Yeah, no, he was real nice.
I was on a plane once and coming back, I had first class, and Ted Danson sat next to me.
Cool.
And I'm not the type to go into talking with people, so I just turned to him and says, "Hey, how you doing?" And he just looked and said, "Hi." I says, "I hope it's a nice flight." He goes, "Yeah, I hope so too." And but the thing was, we were leaving LA to go to New York, and there was this group of people, this mother and father with a bunch of kids, and they had the Disney T-shirts on and the Disney hats, the Mickey Mouse hats.
Yeah.
And they saw Ted Danson, and they were all like Googling him, his eyes, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh shit, man, these people are really into Ted." And Ted's, you could see, is really irritated, It's like, so they go sitting back in the back, and then we do the flight, and on the way out to get the luggage, we're coming down the escalator, and who's waiting at the bottom of the escalator is the mother and father and all the little Mouseketeers. And I turned to him, I says, "There's no way in the world right now I'd fucking want to be like you." And he goes, "Tell me about it." And he gets down at the bottom, and he goes, "I'm not stopping. I am not stopping." And he just kept walking. It's fucking weird, but
Jay Leno, he's come to a few shows I've done. Really great guy, but he goes to car shows to look at the cars.
Yeah,
he goes to car shows to talk to other car guys about where to find parts and things.
Yeah.
So like he'll stop and take a picture with you, and he'll just start walking. He's like, "No, if you want to, you want to talk to me, walk." And he just takes off, and he doesn't really stop for anything. But he's a great guy. He's very, personable and everything.
Yeah, I worked with him.
But I've seen him sitting there talking with some guy about some car they both had one of. And Jay was like, "Oh, here, if you could find that." And he pulls out a pad, writes down his phone number, goes, "Here, give me a call." He's just that guy,
He was the motorcycle guy to start. It wasn't cars, it was motorcycles.
Yeah.
And we worked at Dangerfields together. I was actually opened for him. And he wore a blue blazer and gray slacks and smoked a pipe in those days.
I know how to fix your computer.
Ow.
Upper right corner of the screen, there's 3 dots. You click on it and it says view, and it says grid or gallery or something like that. Hit gallery.
No, I don't see that. I hate to touch.
A little square. It's like a little, it might not be 3 dots, it might be a little square.
Gotcha. I gotcha. See me now?
Oh, yeah.
We could see you the whole time.
Okay. Oh, see, I couldn't see myself. I'm such an egotistical bastard,
Frankie, tell me this: with when you started in introducing the props, obviously that was something that might not have was as popular. Hence, is that part of why you took it and ran with it? And then how difficult was it to come up with figuring out gags that now included a physical element?
Well, let's see. My favorite guys were Red Skelton, Jonathan Winters, and Richard Pryor. And I inebriated myself with these 3 characters in my head. And when I see something, I make fun of it. But more or less, a lot of prop comics depend on the prop. I don't. I become the actor using the prop. Like I do a thing where I take a poncho and I put it over my head and I do a baby being born. So you see my head coming through the poncho. You know, it's kind of like one of these fucking things. Like,
It's like the RHINO from Ace Ventura kind of thing.
yeah. So I would do stuff like that, and then I would do like, then I put the thing over my head and say, "So you're from the Middle East? Are you from the North? Are you from the North? Are you from the South? Oh, you're from the South. What's your name? Tony." And I got a big fucking laugh out of that. So I would just develop shit in my head, and I think what's his name? Carrot Top saw me one night. I don't know if they said he was watching me, and but I got my stuff from Lenny Schultz. You know Lenny Schultz?
No.
I've heard of Lenny Schultz.
Lenny Schultz was one of the fucking wildest. Go make me crazy, make me crazy. He was one of these nut jobs, and he said, and he would say too. Now after my standing ovation, I want you to help me take my. And I look at him, standing ovation. Post nasal drip. I'm sorry.
Well,
After his standing ovation, he would get a fucking standing ovation, and we would be. I went to see him at Catch. I'm sitting there, and I got John Goodman on my right, and I got David Bowie on my left, and all these other fucking celebrities in the room, fucking laughing at Lenny Schultz, who's putting jelly all over his body, and then he puts his fucking teeth in like this, and he's a wig, and he's singing Funiculi Funicula while he's juggling spaghetti. Fucking totally insane shit, Meanwhile, the place is ruined, and he goes, "Now it's time for me to fucking swim," and he jumps on the floor and starts swimming under the people's legs and shit. So he was instrumental to getting me going. He got Gallagher going. He got Carrot Top going, and he got Bob Nelson going. Don, what's his other fucking name? I forget. A bunch of other guys. We were all, stimulated by this guy, and we became good friends. Me and Lenny. He is a really, really, truly sweet human being, a normal human being, and a wonderful person.
Well, we just want to say that we do appreciate having you on the show. Well, I know we got a couple more guests coming up here in the next half an hour.
I'm
But
done.
for
Nice to
anybody
meet you.
for anybody that wants to know more about you, I know you mentioned about your website, but you can share it again if you like. Let people know how they can learn more about you if they want to.
Well, you can go to frankiepacecomic.com. That's my website. I'm on YouTube, and I'm doing this new thing I love. I'm doing Ask the Godfather.
Yeah.
He's a mobster that gives advice like Dear Abby. I'll give you one of them. He goes, "You got a letter from this letter. Vito, did you start the fucking car? Don't start the car now. Later. You shut it off, right? Oh, okay. Got a letter from Lucy. Says, Dear Godfather." Where's the fucking paper? Oh, here it is. Says, "Dear Godfather, my son's a bum. He lives in a basement. He drinks beer all day, plays video games. He's 28 years old, won't get a freaking job. It's been 9 months now. What do I do to get him out of the basement?" Says, "Lucy, it's simple. Flood it."
Hey, so that's all I got to
But,
do to get rid of mine, huh?
That's my last joke for tonight. So it's really, I had a good time with you guys.
Oh, right.
Bravo.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Frankie.
Okay,
Absolutely.
guys.
But I was trying to show you right when you were cutting out. That's Screaming Sam. That's
Oh
what he
yeah,
actually looks
there
like.
he is. This is my sweetheart. There he is.
Yeah, but that's
No, that's
sweetheart.
actually the guest host.
That's
here.
me.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was me back. Yeah.
Sam. Oh my God, you look just like them. You look just like him.
He's your sweetheart
Right?
there, Sam. Just like you
You
said.
look now with that hat on and a beard. You look like Foghat. You got a guitar?
Oh, he can play the guitar.
I
I
retired.
can tell you that.
He looks like Foghat, doesn't he? I mean, what the fuck is that?
I retired.
No.
All right, Frankie. Well, we appreciate having you on, and just
Well, thanks, man.
thanks for spending time with us.
Hey,
Really
good
do
luck with
appreciate
the radio show, man. Good
Oh,
luck.
absolutely.
Thanks, Frankie.
All
Thank
right,
you.
guys, take care. What do I
Thanks
do?
for being on.
Yeah, I'll get you out here.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'll take care of it all.
Okay.
All right.
I just
Thanks
shut
again,
down.
man.
Oh, the crap beer is starting to help my neck.
All right.
Well, what do you think, guys? Frankie Pace, sir.
Yeah, very interesting.
Pretty cool.
Kind of
Couldn't get a
came out
word
early.
edgewise.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
hey,
that's
some
all
people
right.
like
it's interesting. I like listening to guys
old
like that.
school people.
Pretty
You just
cool.
never know. I've had many times and many interviews that I've done in my life where I couldn't even ask a question. They pretty much told me their whole story, and then the interview was done.
Guys, I got to run. I got some people coming over, but it's very nice meeting all of you. And I
Yeah.
would like to join you again someday.
Yeah, well, you'll be around for our next season, I'm sure.
Sounds
season
great.
4.
Nice to meet
Nice
all of
to
you.
hear. That means
All
nice
right.
to meet
You
you.
too, Raj.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
Raj. All right. Well, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue with some segments here. I got something here that I want to share with you guys.
I might have to bug out in the next segment.
Oh, for the next interview?
Well,
In half an
I
hour?
might. I'm going to stick around as much as I can, but I got some big major problems going on over here, and
Oh,
I have
okay.
to. Yeah, I had a toilet go on me today and knock my living room ceiling down.
Oh, geez.
So
Oh,
I'm
great.
down there sopping up water and everything else. So
Oh, that's wonderful.
I stopped for a little bit. My wife's walking by the room and giving me dirty looks. So I think that's time for me to go back down and turn the plaster down.
Okay. You weren't doing another colonoscopy, were you?
No. Probably.
Yeah.
That's not till December 20th, right before Christmas. I'm getting rid of all my shit.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's when you should do it. Let's see.
Good timing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you gotta go, Bad Dog, go right ahead. Don't worry about us. We'll be fine.
Hey, you got shit to do.
Yeah.
Literally.
You know what? I can't get a break. My car, my warranty was off in September, and my rear end shot, and I got a crack in my transfer case. And it's got
Ooh.
30,000 miles. Go figure that one out.
Ooh.
That's nuts too. Well, let's see. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, computer audio. Okay, that should be good there.
My luck's so bad, it'd be raining whores, and I'd get hit with a faggot. No fun, no pun intended. If anybody's gay, I'm sorry, but
Wow. Yeah. All right, we're gonna do the segment about some funny news, stuff that nobody knows about, that other than the people that have been reporting about it. I got a little funny segment of that here, so hope you guys can hear the audio. Everybody hear that at all?
I'm Ben Hoover, and this is Weekend Odds and Ends, a special Friday edition of the UPI Odd News Minute for November 15th, 2024. Welcome to Weekend Odds and Ends, our weekly roundup of the missed odd opportunities that didn't quite make this week's podcasts. First up, a woman's travel plans were put on hold when she went into labor during a layover at Miami International Airport in Florida. Miami-Dade fire rescue personnel responded to the airport just after 5 p.m. Tuesday after a passenger's water broke and she started giving birth near Checkpoint 1 in the hub's pre-security area. Firefighters, Miami-Dade police officers, U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents, and Miami-Dade Airport Division staff helped the woman give birth before the ambulance arrived to take the mom and newborn to a local hospital. An airport employee said the woman was between flights and awaiting a plane that would have taken her to another state when her water broke. Speaking of babies, a diaper-wearing kangaroo escaped near a Florida elementary school, sparking a brief search before being apprehended by sheriff's deputies. The Hernando County Sheriff's Office issued an alert Wednesday telling local residents that a baby kangaroo wearing a diaper and a blue harness was on the loose near J.D. Floyd Elementary School. The post was updated a short time later, saying the 4-month-old Joey had been spotted near the wind chime tree, a local landmark in Snow Hill. A second update about 10 minutes later announced the baby kangaroo, still clad in its diaper, had been located and captured in Plantation Estates. Moving on from the very young to the grotesquely old, a 77-year-old slice of cake from Queen Elizabeth II's wedding to Prince Philip was auctioned for $2,800. The slice of cake was packaged in a box bearing then Princess Elizabeth's silver insignia and included a printed letter from the bride and a decorative doily. The piece of cake had been gifted to Marion Polson, housekeeper at Holyrood House in Edinburgh, Scotland, as a gift from the royal couple. Auction house Riemann Dancy announced the piece of cake, part of a 500-pound baked dessert served at the November 20th, 1947 wedding, was sold for $2,831. And
Jesus
finally,
Christ.
transitioning from an aged royal confection to a rescue staged with perfection, a baby goat stranded on a Hawaii cliff was rescued by members of the public after 4 days. Govinda Hansen, Caleb Morrison, Travis Wu, and 2 other animal lovers organized the rescue attempt on social media after the baby goat was found to have been stranded on a Waianae cliff for at least 4 days. They took the goat, now named Bala Buddy, to the Aloha Animal Sanctuary in Ka'aluu. The sanctuary said Bala will have a new permanent home with the sanctuary's 15-year-old animal wellness manager, Loai Diaz. Rockio Tapia, the Aloha Animal Sanctuary's executive director, said Bala Buddy is a bundle of energy. Tapia said, "You think that he would be doing very badly, but he's actually thriving. He's running around, he's hopping like baby goats do. I just have so much love and respect for the community, for the volunteers who came together to perform such an action to risk their lives for a baby goat." For these stories and more national, international, sports, entertainment, science, and
I
all
think that
news from
dude
United
ought to
Press
get a wife.
International, visit UPI.com. Follow the
See,
UPI Alt News Minute on.
That's why women are not supposed to fly when they're quite pregnant. If you are over 6 or 7 months pregnant,
my
they
wife
don't
was
want you to
pregnant.
fly because the change in the pressure will induce labor.
My wife was pregnant. We had a waterbed, and I come home drunk one night with a pen in the back of my pocket, and I passed out in the bed, and the pen went through the waterbed, and I thought she broke her water, and I'm laying in a puddle of water, and I'm like, "Honey, I'm drunk. Wake up. Your water broke." And she's throwing around. No, I'm dry as hell, and I'm soaking wet. And I tried to get up, and the pen was stuck in the bed and in my pocket.
Oh, God.
And I got up, and I had a hole in the waterbed. Her water didn't break. Dumbass drunk me fell asleep in the bed, and the water pen in the back of my pocket in my clothes on, and punched the waterbed. Jean-Claude Van Damme, how are you?
I can imagine you doing that. So that really sounds like you
do that was my drunken days. That's why I quit drinking. Couldn't handle it.
The fact that you had
I've done weddings where we've had women who were like, instead of going to the hospital, they came to their friend's wedding.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they're like, "Well, what do we do if something happens?" And everyone's like, "I'm like, I delivered my own. I could deliver yours." They're like, "You're the DJ." I'm like, "Yeah." "You know how to deliver babies?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "What?"
I just hope the water didn't break during dinner time. That'd have been gross.
DJ, delivery jockey.
Or if anybody has somebody just something to say that wants to cancel the wedding or whatever, that's where the water breaks. Like, I'm pregnant, so he's the baby's in.
No, he plays a song with a lot of jumping in it.
I've only had one bride who was noticeably pregnant.
Yeah.
Ever. In 45 years of playing weddings, I've only had one bride that was noticeably pregnant. And her dad showed up wearing board shorts and a tank top and asked when the mosh pit was going to start. And I said, "It's not." He says, "I'm the father of the bride, and I won't pay you if you don't do a mosh pit." And I'm like, "I got paid 2 weeks ago, and I'll pack my shit and go home now. What do you want to do?"
At least he didn't have a shotgun.
Yeah, that's I was thinking it was a shotgun wedding.
Well,
You're gonna marry
You're gonna say he was in bib overalls.
You're gonna marry
and a
this
straw
bitch,
hat.
whether you like it or not.
You're gonna marry your sister. Yeah, that's how it's gonna be.
Why did you get your sister pregnant? God damn it.
Keep it in the family.
When this couple got married, they used to come to this club I DJ'd at. And so they hired me to do they found out I did weddings. And they're like, "Yeah, we want you to do our wedding." I'm like, "Okay." They're like, "Now, Grandpa's going to be the preacher, and you can't play any of the club stuff till he leaves. I'm like, okay. So the first part is just all regular wedding dance music kind of stuff, you know. And Grandpa leaves, and they're like, all right, we can do it now. And so I start playing this was back in the 90s, so I'm playing all the nasty club stuff, you know, the Lick It. And,
yeah, it and Mama Go
Stroke me.
all that stuff, you know.
I've got big balls
and everyone's out there dancing and everything else. And all of a sudden, this girl's out there. She had to be like 38 double G or something, just huge. And her tube top comes down. And everyone's like, woo! And I'm thinking to myself, that's the bride's 14-year-old sister, guys.
Oh, shit. We're all going to jail tonight.
Or hell.
So yeah, and we danced for a little while, and then they packed everybody in the limo and went to the club to finish the night.
Wow. I thought you were the club.
Well, I was until the limo arrived, and then they were, because the club after 2:00 when they got all the alcohol off the tables would go until like 4.
Yeah,
and they knew they couldn't do that in their mom and dad's backyard. You know, with neighbors and everything else.
I don't want to change the subject or anything, but I actually watched your interview with John Roberts.
Oh yeah.
And that was the most interesting interview I think I ever saw, because you know, just knowing John through the show, and you know how much he enjoys what he does, and find out about, you know, he was more depth into the plane wreck, which we didn't really ever, like, we knew he was in a plane wreck and survived, and he talked about that. He talked about his family. I mean, it was just a wonderful interview, man. I was doing my walking on the treadmill when I was listening. I really enjoyed it.
Well, thank you.
I got to run downstairs.
I tell you, I love John Roberts, man. He got the best voice I ever heard in my life.
Well, me, you love.
Well, after listening to DJ
questions,
Ken here, it's pretty weird after, you know, doing this stuff for over 4 decades, getting interviewed. I've done so many thousands of interviews in my time, and to show up in a bar in little small Northwest Minnesota town in my Blaze Orange, because I just come from hunting.
That was great.
Sit down and do an interview with Frankie.
Yeah.
Was pretty cool.
We wouldn't have
Really
it any
enjoyed
other
it.
way. I mean, if you'd have worn anything else, we would have been pissed.
That's right. Yeah, that
You're up
really...
there. You're up there in no man's land, anyways. I thought all them hillbillies wore orange all day.
He does it, and the best part, he does it in a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like they're whispering in a corner.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine people were watching this stuff. I mean, they had
yeah.
We
we
had you should have seen this was our gallery. We had these old ladies that meet every Saturday morning, I'm guessing. There's like a dozen of them, and you know, they meet there for breakfast every week.
Yeah.
And then my guys from my hunting crew that are over on the other side of the bar, and they're already drinking beer, drinking whiskeys at 10 o'clock in the morning. And
yeah, I commented because he was drinking beer at 10:30.
Well, I'm doing this interview with Frankie, and we're way in the back of the bar restaurant, and the waitress isn't getting I'm trying to nonchalantly get her attention, so I finally text one of my hunting crew guys at the other end of the bar and said, "Please get me a beer." And they brought me a beer.
Yeah, and then they all went back out
So it
hunting
worked out
again.
pretty good.
He did. If you
And
guys
then we
didn't
went
see
back
that
out
interview,
hunting
watch it,
again.
because you'll learn a lot about John Roberts.
I look forward
Hey,
to
John
seeing
Claude,
it.
did you go hunting after drinking all morning?
Well,
Yeah.
of course he did.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the whole purpose of that. He just
Go
stopped.
sit in a tree stand. You're not going to hurt nobody.
He didn't wear his orange thing, go to breakfast
and
and
I
get
didn't.
interviewed and leave.
Well, I
Oh,
made
it
it
was
sit
fun.
at the end,
Yeah.
maybe, but
Yeah.
and you gotta
Yeah,
understand.
I even bought Frankie breakfast.
Oh, absolutely, and you gotta understand, Sam, that when I did
That's
the
a
interview,
very serious look right there.
that's right. You don't
Oh,
mess with that
big
guy.
crap.
That's the thumbnail.
That's
That's
a
the guy.
scary look.
That's the guy who's
I think
holding.
I'm about 80.
That guy is holding in a major dump. I tell you, that's what it is. That's what it looks like on the thumbnail.
I can't wait till I come out that way. And I finally got a vehicle that I could travel in. So hopefully
Yeah.
my brother's serious about traveling. And next
'Cause
summer,
I'll-
we're going to come out.
I'll gladly interview you guys
Welcome to
again.
summer.
We'll do a group interview. We're like a
Definitely
round
come out in the
table.
summer. Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to come out there in the winter. I have enough winter around here.
Well, you don't worry. You won't
No,
have
you
to.
don't want to come up here in the winter. Winter sucks.
No,
up
that's
here
my
unless you play
intentions,
hockey
man.
or
As soon as summer
Bill's
comes,
redfish.
we're heading out.
Well,
Yeah, we're getting down to like
know,
32 here.
just know that the month of May, I'm planning on taking off for Washington for about a week.
That's the month we're coming up.
I'm gonna go. Yeah. So if you come up,
That's
come up
where I
after
was
that.
heading to see you that way too.
Yeah,
Note to
yeah.
self, Frankie
Well,
will be gone.
Well, we'll be
I'm
doing
gonna
the
be in
show
Maine.
from his house. We'll be doing one of the
I'm
episodes
going to
from
be
his
in
house.
Seattle in May for 1 or 2 nights. So I was kind of hoping too. I don't know, Frankie, if that's when you're there or not. I'll have to look, but I was
Mine will
hoping
be
even
after
if
Mother's
swinging
Day.
through. I'm hoping I can run into you, Lance. I think
Yeah, I
it'd be
think
awesome to meet
we'll
you,
have
man.
to make something happen. That's for sure.
Yeah, if we can.
I heard the rain in Maine is mainly towards the plain.
Oh, wow.
I think you've got
Over
it.
the falls.
And then your balls. Anyway,
Yeah. Wow.
Should I walk into when I walk away?
Yeah,
it'll probably
we're
be
gonna-
it'll probably be at the end of May or first week of
Yeah,
June.
because what my plan is for season 4 of the show is that if we start, whether we start on the 6th of January or the following week on the 13th, we're gonna try to have it go until the end of June, and then we'll take the month of July off, and then we'll come back in August for season 5. That's kind of what my plan is for season 4 anyway. Because I figure we're doing things a little bit differently, as far as starting, and it doesn't matter if we start the first Monday of January or the 2nd. It's just I want to at least try to get every season to have at least 16 to 18 episodes. This is when we'll have at least 20, for this season, and then pretty soon, probably within another, maybe by the time summertime rolls around or whatever. We got to do something special for our 100th episode, because by the end of this season, we'll have done a total, including last year, 54 episodes. So, and I'm keeping track of all that. So, we're not that far away.
Where are you?
That's right. That's right.
I used to keep track of all my shows. I think we did over 150 TV shows and over 100 radio shows, and
Oh, absolutely.
we hustled, man.
Well, I got one more segment here before we get to before our guests come on, and this will be kind of fun because this is another Jay Leno one. But because it's the holiday season and stuff, and we're getting ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Well, here's some stuff that he did, a Christmas version of his segment about the dollar store before dollar stores were cool.
They're cool.
I think so. I think they are.
All right. Now, Christmas just weeks away, and if you want to shop for loved ones without going over budget, I'll show you how you can stretch your money by shopping at the 99-cent store.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why.
Now, these are all actual products we bought at the 99-cent store. And maybe there's one little flaw or something that you get them at this. I know the band loves it. I do all their shopping every year. The Christmas bonus is it cost me maybe $9. It's a heck of a deal. Now, I saw these. These are real. I'm sure they're delicious cookies. Just the name.
All right.
Okay, they are Mega Choke. Chocolate-filled cookie. Now, they're fine. It's just the name might put you off. Mega Choke. Beautiful stocking. All right, looks hang by the fireplace with cheer. Look, see Santa's coming. Okay. But most kids now are illiterate. They're not going to know the difference. So you put this up. It just looks pretty.
Just because of all the ho ho ho.
I thought that's how you spelled.
Now this is 3 pencil sharpeners. Let me open this up here. Look, there's 3 for 99 cents. Okay. You see, it's a little kitty, and apparently you just stick the pen in the...
The kids try that with the real cat at home.
Your child will grow up to be some sort of...
Some sort of what?
Now, these are block puzzles, not for children under 3. Well, who else is going to play with block puzzles? Well, look, some of the things on there. Can you see? Look, there you go. Look, there's a radish. Show the radish. See, there's a radish.
Oh my God.
Show the apricot. There's the apricot. There's an apricot. And a hippocampal, whatever that is. And of course, when you're a kid, what's more important? Oh, there's N is for nabs. Nabs. And of course, my favorite, B for beer, right?
Yeah.
99 cents. I mean, look. I like this one. Look, it's the family hacksaw. Of course, Dad and the kids have their own, but this is the family hacksaw.
That's when
This
you
is
leave out on
a
the table.
T-shaw swang shawang something. Okay, but I like it. I guess it's an apron. That's, but look, I like it as Britney Spears' how did apparently maybe maybe Britney should wear this apron maybe once in a while, especially when she's getting in and out of the limo. Might help. Well, this one made me laugh. This is not bad for 99 cents. It's the Superhero Returns action set. Now, apparently, they didn't want to pay the license agreement to use the name Superman, you see. So it's just superhero, generic superhero returns. But it looks like Superman from the movie. And if you don't know the story of Superman, well, here, it's explained on the back. Here, read along with me. The Superman is in several years. The trial returned to hometowns and did not succeed. Hence, re-returned to New York. But unfortunate is he discovers that his own lover, Louis Silk, has already had the male friend and a child.
Good Lord.
Frank
That's an
looks
unknown
like, I guess,
language.
at Christmas time and cooking a turkey baster. Perini turkey. I like what it says here. Look. Can you read it? For everyday pleasure. For your everyday pleasure.
No.
All 99 cents. These are 6 champagne glasses for ages 3 and up. You can never start kids drinking early enough. I always find it. And with this, the little champagne glasses. This one, this is Jesus in a box plain.
A size 6-inch glass.
That's a Jesus Christ plain. That's what it says.
I know somebody that would consider
people get a little scared this time.
Jesus, right?
You got to pay extra
Now,
for the fancy
multivitamin tablets. They're important. You want to take multivitamins. I don't know how you swallow this one. This is a multivitamin tablet, as you can see. It also works as a dog brush, too.
What the shit?
This one's from Japan. These are Japanese, I guess, blindfolds. I don't quite, look, can you see the illustrations? You can use them while reading a book or driving your car. Look, you see, you put on your blindfold while you drive. But it's 99
That's
cents.
Japanese. You could use a piece of dental floss. To
I love this, the 99-cent do-it-yourself divorce kit. How bad are your assets that you're getting this at the night? Let's see, what's that, 45 cents each, honey? No, that's 51 cents.
Oh.
Which one is next? Oh,
The
this
same
is
people that bought the pregnancy test there.
Chatina
Yeah.
Golden Ginseng Dieter's tea. Look, maybe Barack would like this. Look, it says no additives and no conservatives. No additives. I don't even know what this is. All I know is it's called the Advanced Bowel Mat. What that means. Just the regular bowel mat seems better. Good luck selling this in LA. Virginity soap. There you go.
What does that mean?
My God.
I don't want to know what it means. These seem a little inappropriate. These are Bear You put them on the wall to hang pictures on. These look like really happy bears to me.
Oh my God.
You want this in your
Very bear hook.
If you rub them, they get
want that
bigger.
in your kid's room with And finally, they have cards. You can get cards at the 99-cent store.
Oh, yeah.
I like this. With sympathy on the loss of your mother. Oh. And you open it up, and of course it says, Feliz Navidad! Feliz Navidad! Be right back with Senator Barack Obama right after.
Police now he died.
Oh no.
And just,
Funny stuff.
and just because we have some time before they come on the show here, our next two guests here, I'm gonna show the video that I showed you guys on the pre-show. Just because I wanna
Nice
get
doggy.
you guys. Well, I get you guys' reaction just because this was a funny first video that I showed earlier on. Can't
Which
help
one?
myself. This one right here. I want John
Oh,
Roberts
good
and
Lord.
Sam and
Oh yeah,
and
Pat
Kingman.
guy.
Yeah, don't say anything, you guys.
Hey, Nikki, found these.
Oh. Thanks, Brian.
What are those?
They're wipes for electronics. Yeah, like computer monitors mainly.
My computer monitor is very dirty. May I have one?
Sure.
Hey, Brian, got your next project here. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm using these new cleaning wipes from Nikki. They work really well. Plus, they're sticky.
Oh, you know, they're sometimes called pads, and really the best ones for computer monitors, they're called overnight pads. They're like non-abrasive, and they do LED, LCD. So the best for computer monitors, overnight pads.
Do you think Nikki would have any overnight pads?
I don't know, that's a good question. Anyway, thanks for doing this.
Man, never got laid, poor fellow.
Nikki, could I get another one of those pads, please?
Sure.
Like we used to say.
Do you have any overnight pads?
Not here. No.
Okay, I guess just a normal one will do. I just need more coverage. The center is fine, but the edges are very tricky.
Yeah, it's usually the edges.
These are super absorbent. It's like someone at NASA must have made them.
I'm glad one of us is enjoying them.
So,
Yeah.
let's
Ain't had pussy since pussy had him.
So John Roberts, let's get your thoughts here. I want to hear what you thought about that first.
Funny.
Yeah.
I've been giggling the whole time. Ever since you started playing clips, I've been giggling.
Are you sure it's not the alcohol? No.
No, you know what? I brought 3 beers into the studio up here, and I just cracked the second one, and we've been on the air for over an hour.
Yeah. Well, almost
Hour
2
and a
hours.
half.
Same.
I'm
Look at that.
I'm still only 1 beer deep.
Same speed,
One
except
beer
my
deep.
ears are bigger.
I got to fit the Crown Royal here. I haven't cracked yet, but I ain't doing it tonight. I don't feel like drinking.
Hold on. Looks like that.
John, I
Just
bet you
trying
this
to
is the
figure out
first time a
something
woman's
here.
ever told you that hers is probably bigger than yours.
Ha ha ha. The big one.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is well hung. He likes noodling with his noodle.
What the hell's wrong with you guys?
Let's pick on John night.
Yeah, pick out somebody other than me.
Wait,
Well, he caught
wait.
that big
What
catfish.
the hell
You
is
think
our
he caught him with
problem?
his arm?
How
He
long
was
have you been
noodling
on
for
this
that
show?
big catfish. He used his noodle. He didn't use his arm. That's Big John. Big
Yeah,
Bad
John.
John.
That's right. Yeah, never forget that at all. Never forget that. Well, I'm going to give our guests here. They were trying to. They couldn't sign in with the other Zoom link that I gave them, so they want the longer one. So
If I dipped out, guys, you know I had to run. So excuse me, and I'm sorry.
Because you had the runs earlier.
I have an emergency here, and I got to get it fixed before the plumber comes in tomorrow.
See, well, earlier we thought you were just talking weird or whatever. Then when you talk about your bathroom stuff, I'm just like, oh, okay, so it is making sense here. Okay, interesting.
That's my luck, buddy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let me try to
Take it with a grain of
that,
salt. Just laugh about it.
Well, we did. You know, I still enjoyed your comedy from last week. That was pretty. Is that the only thing you ever did as far as your?
No, I did something for Nickelodeon too, but I don't know where it's at. I never posted it.
You did comedy for Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I did a 6-minute thing for them.
Is that place you did up in Brookline or something? Or
no, up in I did that. Well, remember I had to borrow your buddy's leather coat, Jimmy Scheller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Then I did one up in Brookline too. I don't know where that one. We never filmed that one, huh, John?
No, I didn't go.
Oh,
you got paid for that.
I got paid. I thought you were there on that one.
Did you ever meet a guy out there named Josh Yon?
Josh in Pittsburgh?
Josh Yon, he's about 6'6" with Nickelodeon.
No.
He's a DJ buddy of mine. He's done a lot of stuff with them.
I only did one little little spoof with them, and it was only it was like a commercial type deal, and it never aired, so I got paid for it, but it was just like a trailer we did, and it never aired.
Yeah,
I keep getting messages from Renegade Radio about joining their.
Yeah, I'm sending.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're here. I'm trying to I'm sending them to our guest here, so
Oh.
I had just copied and pasted it a different way, so I could send it to the phone. But RHINO has made it. He's the first one here, or our second guest anyway.
I did a commercial for Armstrong Cable. It was pretty good.
Yeah, we've seen that one. I've seen that one. I just saw the blurry version of the.
Yeah, I got the tape here, but I got to get it sent over to VA from the tape to the the new CDs and that.
Oh,
I got to find somebody who can do that for me.
Anybody does that. You got any video store?
What's up there, RHINO? How's it going?
Good evening, Stephen.
Absolutely. Did you send that link to Frankie as well then?
Oh,
I don't.
Apologies for Frankie. He forgot that Monday nights is his softball league, and he's their only pitcher tonight, so he had to go. He couldn't beg out.
Oh, okay.
He said, if you find time in the future, reschedule him.
Okay. Yeah, because I really would like to talk to him about this movie and everything, because that looks like the trailer looks really, really good.
Yeah, it did. They just had a screening at that private Beverly Hills club that's on a rooftop on Sunset. I can't remember the name of the club, for about 50 industry insiders, some people at CAA. I know the producer for Field of Dreams was there. And Frank was very happy with what he saw. Of course, as any actor, and I can see a point. Frank was complaining that in the middle of some of his most empathetic and heartfelt moments, they were cutting away for a reaction shot from this girl they hired. It's literally her first film. I don't know what she does on YouTube or Instagram or something, but she's got a couple million people following her. One of the reasons she got the job, and it's in the middle of you want an actor to get in a good actor to get in a film, you got to give them great monologues, and all your Academy Award type nominations are based off a great monologue or a great performance, and you don't cut away from Anthony Hopkins in the middle of a monologue for some young lady's reaction shot. And apparently they weren't very impressive reaction shots. She was pretty much sitting there like a deer in the headlights. So and also the producer from Field of Dreams had felt the same way. So if they raise that other $100,000 they want to buy the music tracks that they want to buy and score it with a orchestra, maybe the distributor will realize this is not a film about a bunch of young kids. It's a film about a psychotic barber that is killing people right under your noses, and the kids are fodder for that meat grinder. They're not important, you know. But because who remembers any of the kids that Jason killed, or Jamie Lee Curtis is we follow because she's
Oh, come
married
on,
to
Sydney. We all
Right?
remember Sydney.
Right. Okay. So there's a few in there you remember, but generally speaking, those that get killed, you don't.
Right,
And
right.
so I didn't have a chance to see the film yet, just the promo clip that I sent you. But it's definitely a tour de force performance by Frankie. Honestly, I don't know any actor that would have had the skill sets from his previous life or the pain that was necessary to bring this character to life. Frankie's really been through the meat grind himself in life. Bad choices, drugs and alcohol brought some of those on. Abandonment issues from his childhood, mother giving up to 7 kids and just leaving. So that was all the stuff that he was able to dredge up, and it was very painful. I mean, he was on location 5 weeks, I think, and literally every night, just talking to him on the phone, trying to keep him in the zone and not walk off the film, kind of thing. Anyway.
Well, hey, I mean, if we ever get a chance to talk to him, or if we ever reschedule, that'd definitely be a highlight for the new season. Anyway, that's
Hold
for
on.
sure.
I'll get my glasses on here for a second. Oh, you got your Christmas Thanksgiving set going there already?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's all thanks to one of our producers, Jeremy, who does good.
They're
good,
going to a
fonts
fucking
here.
Target store.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Next time I'll put some big balls or the big red balls right around.
No, we don't want. Nobody wants to see your big red balls, Sean. He's talking about Jeremy. He produces. Well, he does some production for Sean, and he also produces. He produced all of most of my late boyfriend's music videos, and he's producing my other podcast that is The Buzz with Mama T, where I interview musicians. So that was just a quick introduction, because we do kind of a round robin thing here.
Okay.
So you are what is the name of this movie that he's working on?
Bad Haircut. The director and writer won the Palme d'Or for Best Short Film at Cannes a year or two ago. And that's what got him the funding to do this one. And there was some good supporting cast. Martin Klebe, the little person pirate from all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, was Frankie's sidekick in it until Frankie kills him. Jake Busey came in to be the sheriff. And as is, they had found a quarry they could put the ice cream truck that he kidnaps or disposes a lot of these people. They found a quarry that they could push this ice cream truck on fire with him in it, not in it in real life, but in the film, over, for his fiery, watery grave. But that being said, depending upon the reaction to the film, Mick, his character, could survive and come back for vengeance. So we'll see.
Wait, what's the name of it again?
Bad Haircut.
Bad Haircut. Okay, I already knew this. How did I already know this? Sean, tell me how I already knew this.
Because you know everything? I don't know.
No.
Hey,
the actor that, yeah.
I got a question for you, Rhino.
Did I already do my homework on Frankie Ray?
You probably did. You probably thought you have him on last week or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frankie did his very first film with me. He bullshitted in his way. He had just gotten out here from Vegas, where he was a car dealer and a ballroom dance instructor for 10 or 11 years. And somehow, back in the day, there still is a magazine called Backstage West, and any actor Thursday night would be at a newsstand waiting for that 12 o'clock delivery, because in the back was all your breakdowns. I mean, if you didn't have a theatrical agent, that's how you broke into the business. You found non-union or B or C quality pictures. You would find something that fit your description with an address. You would take the correct photo, your resume, you'd put it in an envelope with a stamp, and unless you had the actual address and you had the balls to walk it into casting, say, hey, listen, I was just in the building or down the street. I heard you casting. I'd like to, give you a submission. That was the way we did it in the old days. Now it's all your agents just point and click and submitting, and same thing with self submissions. But that film, that was a real that was Menachem Golan had just broken up Canon Films, and he had formed a company called 21st Century, and this was one of his first films he produced called Prison Planet, and Frankie got cast as my sidekick. The concept of this film, high concept, we're bad people that have been teleported or put on this prison planet. And what do we do for a living? We capture beautiful virgins on a prison planet. He found beautiful virgins, and we sell them to a guy in we sell them to a guy in a spaceship, and he leaves with them. Now, why we don't leave? We don't have any collars or exploding pills in our head. We're just living in tents, and we're capturing beautiful virgins and selling them. So he was cast as my sidekick, and we bonded over the production vehicle. They had bought a 65 Mustang, cut the roof off of it, took the doors off of it. They hung snow chains for doors. They put an animal skin across the front, and they put this big ass ray gun in the back of it, bolted to the floor that we don't use in the whole film. And the deposed king of Anakin has been teleported there by his evil brother, and one of the good guys comes up to try and find him and bring him back and save his people. So he is casting my sidekick. So I'm shooting literally the very first scene of the film, and Lee Strasberg, method actor, me. I'm ready to come flying into the Hellbenders camp, turn the car sideways, jump out. We got him, open up the trunk, and there's Blaine, and the car won't start. They're literally pushed into the frame, and this, of course, did not sit with me. So when we got the opening shot done, I grew up in a gas station. My dad had Esso gas stations back in New Jersey.
Esso.
So we got the hood open, and I'm trying to figure out why this thing won't start. And next thing I know, I got this skinny white boy with a lock of blonde hair under there with me, and we diagnose it. We go to the producer. We need $200 and a Pep Boys. So a couple bucks later, we had an alternator, a battery, and a water pump, and we got through the picture with that thing. But that's how we met and bonded. We're both driving motorcycles back then, and he's probably been my best friend for about 35 years. One of Hollywood's truly great character actors.
If anybody doesn't remember who he is, if you ever watch Breaking Bad, right? Wasn't he the
He had a little piece in that. He said, "Oh, here he is." No, I'm on the podcast. You want to? Here he's
the guy that sold that big magnet, right?
I got shit I gotta do. What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
Hello, Frankie.
Hey, Frankie.
Hey. Live on Renegade Radio. I'm not here, but I will be back another time. I apologize, everybody. I had another obligation that I can't let my teammate down. So we're gonna have to reschedule if you do have time for me, sir.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll connect with each other. We're on Facebook, so I'll get a hold of you.
Look at the Christmas theme.
Yeah. You like that? Oh yeah. It's a Thanksgiving Christmas crossover because their season's ending next week, so we're not going to be here for the holidays. So yeah, we're taking a month off, and then we're starting season 4 in January. So yeah, but we're honored to have you anyway, regardless of appearance. I mean, it's nice just that you popped in, just to say hi.
Love your work, man.
Hey, how are you?
Mama T's a big fan of yours because she knows almost every movie you've been in.
Oh.
I know that's good or bad, but
no, I didn't recognize your name at first, but then I did the IMDb thing or whatever, and I was like, oh my god, I do know this guy. He looks so familiar. You're the magnet guy from Breaking Bad, right?
No.
No. What is it? You worked. It was a yard. What freaking yard was it? Which movie was it? You were like a guy in the God.
One of
Yeah.
them psycho movies.
Huh?
One of those psycho movies.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of it. I
Mama
had,
T gets
I
brain fart
literally had
sometimes.
notes and everything, and I can't find them.
Okay, we'll go over them next time.
One of his
Yes.
first you might
Yeah.
recognize from is the original Capital One Oligarchs Christmas movie. Originally, Sven Ole Thorsen, Schwarzenegger's best friend, had been cast to do the "What's in Your Wallet" line, and Frankie had been cast as a little skinny Viking with a big mustache for comic relief next to him. And Sven was the "What's in your wallet? What's in your wallet?" The director turned to Frankie, said, "You say what's in your wallet," and bang, that was a very successful run for him.
Well, gotta be quicker than that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, commercials can make some money, man.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. Probably about what, 60 commercials, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
And now you're a
zombies.
baseball player or a softball player or whatever.
Yeah, tell him to go pitch a no hitter.
He's one of the, I have been in the Stuntman softball league for probably my 35 years, and they asked me one year, they came up a team short, so they said, "Listen, it's better if we have 8 teams. Would you put a team together?" And I brought Frankie into the league, and he wanted to know how he can play on a more regular basis, and I said, "Learn to pitch," and he's probably one of the best damn pitchers in the league. He drops these bombs, they catch the corner of the plate, drives batters crazy. Unbelievable.
Oh,
But yeah,
well, you're
valuable to the team.
You're a pretty big dude. Were you an athlete growing up?
Yeah, I grew up in Westfield, New Jersey. 69 and 70, we were the New Jersey state champs, undefeated both seasons. I was a
Football,
tight end,
baseball, what?
Kickoff team, return team back then. I was only about 190. I got discovered in New York when I was studying with Strasbourg by Elite when supermodels started. All of a sudden, you had these 6-foot tall women, and you put them in heels, and a guy that was 6 foot tall, 40 regular, they couldn't walk the runway with them. So they needed 6'3", 6'4" guys. And I was getting.
Aren't you like 6'5"?
Huh? I'm about 6'4".
Aren't you like 6'5"? Okay.
No, 6'4". Put me in boots, I can hit about 6'6". But anyway, when I moved into New York, I found this loft. My brothers and sisters and a few other friends helped me build it out. And so I took them to this little restaurant in Little Italy, where you sit at picnic tables. So the crowds get mixed. You know, you sit with other parties, and there's a 200 some odd pound woman in the piano playing Italian songs, and the words are on the wall, and you refill your own Chianti, pitchers. So the drunker you get, the more you sing. Anyway, at the end of the night, this woman sitting opposite me, Monique Corey, slides a card over to me. She says, "You called me, baby. I think you have something. Maybe I don't know. We see." And it was Elite Men's Division. Elite, Wilhelmina, Elite, and Four were the 4 big ones. So that took me to Europe. I got into a French film, Le Grand Carnaval, with Alexandre Arcadi directing. Him and Polanski were the 2 biggest French directors. Shot in Tunisia for 2.5 months. It was a World War II epic. And agent from William Morris saw it at the Champs-Élysées French premiere, said, "You're ready for Hollywood." And when I got out here, one of my first inclinations to change direction was General Hospital. I got brought in to be a circus roustabout character, smuggling gold from Mr. B, one of the main characters on this show of Port Charles. And I walk into the casting room, and there's 9 guys there, better looking than me, like the kind of guys that, run their hands through their hair, and they're perfect when they get up. I hate them. And we're all dressed the same, skin tight jeans, guinea t-shirt or white beater t-shirt, tailored checkered shirt on, perfect. And I realized right away this is not what a circus roustabout looks like. You know, the guys that put up the animals, all that. So they were building the circus tents and bringing in the animals outside of the studio for this couple-month-long scenario. So I go to the assistant casting director, said, listen, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to continue working on my stuff. Please don't come and get me until you're absolutely ready for me to walk in that room. I'm going to walk in character. Tell them I'm going to walk in character. Let's just start the scene. So I go outside. I take off my shirt. I go up to the guy in the truck with the hay. I said, "You don't mind if I hook the hay for you?" Because, you know, I grew up on a horse ranch and a farm. And said, "Oh, go ahead." So I got the hooks, and I'm yanking 50-pound bales of hay off the truck. I'm getting sawdust on me and straw, and I found an ashtray. I actually put some cigarette ashes on me and my face, and you know, I got a pretty good sweat going 20 minutes when they come and get me. And I walk into the casting, and 9 other guys look at me and start heading out the fucking door also. And I said, no, we're taking you on now. So I got the role, but right away I ran into a conflict with I'm not going to mention his name, but a star on the show. But if you know the show, Frisco and Felicia were being chased by the police. So we hired Felicia as our belly dancer and Frisco as a roustabout. We just put a chest with a false bottom full of gold into one of our trailers and locked it. I walk away. I come back to find this new guy picking the lock. And my first line is, "Hey pal, what do you think you're doing?" And we're the director's inside, and we're hearing him through a little squawk box. And again, we're sussing it out. And so I go up to him, and I grab him by the shoulders, and I turn him around. And I put him up against the trailer, saying, "Hey pal, what do you think you're doing?" And this actor thinks that that's too rough, and we get into a conversation. And I'm saying, "Look, if this was me, I would have tagged you in the face a couple of times first to get your attention, and then ask you what the fuck you're doing, right?" Yeah. So I said, no, let's just do it Jack's way. So we get into the shoot, and we do the master. Now we're in for close-up, so cameras over each one of our shoulders. I say my line, he says his line. I go to see my second line. He shifts his weight into my camera. So what does the new kid on the block? He calls, I said, cut. And I hear the director rather upset saying, "Who called cut?" And I said, "Oh, that would be me, sir. Jack's in my camera." He said, "Nobody on this shoot calls cut except me." I said, "Well, my bad, but Jack was in my camera. Don't call cut again." Fine. It was an accident. I go say my line. Jack says his line. I go to say my line. He shifts into my camera again. I think, okay, Scooter, say my line. He goes to say his line. I shift into his camera. At which point we get a cut. And Jersey boy, you know, RHINO, you're in Jack's camera. And I say, "Perhaps you can explain something to me, sir." And again, I'm talking to a box, not rather than the cameras. Why Jack gets a cut when I'm in his camera, and I don't get a fucking cut when he's in mine? Would somebody please explain that to me? I'm the new kid on the block here. You know, can you tell me what's... So for the next couple of months, you saw the back of my head, you heard me, I wiped camera, and that's when I decided to start doing bad guys. I started going to the gym. I put on about 40 pounds of muscle, grew my hair long, because they're not going to let you upstage the star,
right?
Which are generally speaking good looking. So I just decided to be the bad guy. They need bad guys every week. A good hero needs a good bad guy. So, you know, shoulder length black. I dyed my hair blue-black for years with my blue eyes, and had always had interesting goatees and beards. So that's when my career changed. And Frankie's pretty much done bad guys most of his life also, although he is very funny, does a lot of comedy, you know. So that was kind of the metamorphosis, you know, got from athlete to, I was very successful in business. I just put on a lot of weight through business. It took me a year to lose about 120 pounds when I was about 25. That's when I went to audition for Strasbourg, got in on a scholarship, and then got discovered by Elite, which sent me off to Europe and changed my whole life. William Morris brought me out here 30 some odd years ago.
If you,
But I very, very quickly got into that Me Too thing that the women, everybody was saying, you know, Ryan, you really should go out to Joel Schumacher's parties in Malibu on the weekends. That's where all the good directors are. And I had already heard about Joel. So I said, no, thank you. I'll slog along over here. Took me a couple of years to get my SAG card with that attitude. I think it was Wishmaster 2 I got my SAG card on. So quite the voyage.
Yeah, it seems like you got a really good voice too. It's like I've heard that voice before. You know, like you're talking about doing commercials and stuff like that. Either that or you have that similar voice of of these guys that do the trailers. You know, there's a certain group of people that were really known for trailer voices, and you kind of have that.
The voice.
Yeah.
He actually donated the voice lab over at Screen Actors Guild when he passed away. They have a beautiful lab there where they teach you how to work on a single mic or in groups.
Oh.
Matter of fact, Frankie and I had gone to one of the introductory classes, and just as we were supposed to start going back, I think COVID hit, and that slowed us down for a couple of months.
Some of your pictures look like Rip on Yellowstone. Actor Rip.
I was thinking that.
I didn't know the show that well, and I didn't have Paramount Plus when I got this audition for this great character on Yellowstone. See what Rip looked like. So who do I go in looking like exactly freaking like? I look like twin brother or his long lost brother. I mean, same beard, same hair, damn freaking outfit. It was a beautiful part too. Absolutely beautiful part. And a 7-page scene. I was off book. I had it all memorized. I made the casting girl, laugh at one part and get a little choked up on the other. And I thought for sure I'd at least get a call back. And just recently, I watched all 5 seasons of Yellowstone on was Hulu or one of those things.
Paramount Plus.
As soon as I said Rip, I said, you got to do a little bit more background work before you go in on a show.
Well, I was going to say too. I mean, you also have that Dave Bautista look. I'm surprised you never doubled for him at all.
I did.
Most of his movies.
Dave in Stuber.
Oh, okay. I know that movie.
In Georgia, but it was supposed to take place in L.A. And I don't know why, but his regular stunt double didn't want to come out to L.A. or was unavailable, which is weird. So I worked with Dave for a couple weeks, him and Kamal Najani on that film, all the driving scenes. One of the
that's a good movie.
Most eloquent, most well-studied, hard-working actors I've ever met. And then I worked with Dave again when they did that thing with when the new Z car came out, the new 400 horsepower Z that was a throwback to the 70 Z. They did said other actor's name. Eugene Levy.
Schitt's Creek.
Was in it. They did a little mini movie, 3-minute movie chase scene through downtown LA in the Z. Eugene in the new Z, and it was so nice seeing Dave. Jonathan is manager. This gives you an idea about him. Jonathan was a lifelong friend. When Dave started wrestling, they would travel together, and he made sure Dave had everything. And this is when you were making no money. And as Dave grew in the business and grew in success, most people, when they get to a certain level, would shed that old relationship. They'd find a new power broker, manager, or what have you, a lawyer. And Dave stuck with him. And Jonathan not only learned the business well, they grew together. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever worked for, Dave Bautista. Nothing but props for him.
Oh, that's cool.
I want to just say something real quick about when, if they put you in a scene where you're supposed to throw Jack Wagner, right? Against a
You go.
if you're supposed to fucking throw the guy, if you're supposed to make it look real, it's gonna feel real too.
Yeah, I said to him, I said, listen, I know you're the star. I'm not going to hurt you, which I think is what bothered Jack. But I really feel we just hired you. I've got a chest full of gold in there. I come back trying to find you picking the frickin' lock.
The character's gonna be upset. Right?
What are you doing? It
You're
called
being
for
a good actor.
Oh no, just turn Jack around with your words. Okay, I'll turn him around with my words. Got
Rich, turn around.
Turn him around with your words.
one of my first lessons in Hollywood. Don't fuck with the star.
Oh, sweetheart.
Oh boy.
That's something.
So you actually doubled up. You actually doubled up for Steven Seagal, huh?
Yeah, one of the only jobs I ever went to just saying to myself sometimes on a daily basis, just think of the money. Just think of the money. I heard that Jeff Dashnow, who is a huge stunt coordinator, was Steven's first double on Under Siege and a few other pictures, had a falling out with Steven. So they were getting ready to do Under Siege 2. And this is back when you could just pretty much walk on a studio lot. Things changed when all of the craziness happened with 9/11. But you used to be able to just go up to the gate and say, hey, I'm going to go see Dick Syker over on stage 25 or go over to production, and they'd let you on. Anyway, that was still that situation. So I put on a black suit, black shirt. My hair was all one length in a ponytail back then, and I had a nice tan. I always lived at the beach. And I went in, and as soon as I walked in the production office on Warner Brothers, everybody, you could hear him whispering, Steven's here, Steven's here. So I called the producer, Steve Perry, and Dick Syker were there, and I said, hey, I'd like to throw my hat in the ring for this. So anyway, a couple of weeks later, I've gone through approvals by everybody, and I was told, lose a few more pounds, because Steven's very thin, which he wasn't. And he's gonna have a tan. So I was already tan, but I was running on the beach with my 3 dogs. We'd run the Marina del Rey Peninsula every day, and do it just my Speedo, so I'm getting tan and what have you. So I'm on the beach. I'm on the beach in my Speedo, getting tan, and my pager goes off. I go to the nearest phone booth, check my service. Steven's in town. He wants to meet you. Now, this is 4:00 on a Friday. Warner Brothers Hollywood is in Hollywood. So I broke about every law there was in my car to get there on time. We get to his office, and Dick Syker, the stunt coordinator's there. He says, Rhino, the job is yours. Steven just wants to meet you. He says, whatever you do, don't ask him any questions. And I said, this is 3 months in Vail, Colorado. It's not a fucking thing I need to know. Anyway, we get to the office, and it's a long rectangular office. A couple of his posters on the wall. The pool table was there, and he's sitting, behind his desk with his arms folded, and he looks at me, and as he gets up to come over, he takes up his 1911 45, slaps one in the chamber. I do not see the safety get set, and he tucks it in his back, like in a movie. And he comes over, and at a couple of feet, I bow, I give him respect. He bows back, and he looks at me, and he says, so, what do you think of Van Damme? I said, he's a fucking ballerina.
Wow.
He said, you'll do. He turns and walks away. Interview's over. I'm thinking, this is what I rushed 100 miles an hour. There is getting here at times for this, but I can't take my eyes off this cocked 45 stuck in the back of his pants. So again, the Jersey boy comes out. He says, excuse me, Mr. Seagal, not for nothing, with all due respect, what's with the fucking 45? And he turns around, he looks at me, he says, you never know. And again, trying to keep my mouth shut, but somehow I had to level the playing field. And I said, "You'll do. I'll see you on set." So from that point on, was not allowed to talk directly to the star stunt double.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
To
That's
ask
crazy.
Well, he's such a badass. Why did he need a double anyway?
the
Yeah.
producer who would even.
How
So
many actors out there do their own stunts? Come on.
there's a few like Tom Cruise is famous for doing a lot of his own stuff.
Yeah.
Stephen did do a lot of the fighting stuff, but it was my understanding he doesn't like heights and he did not want to be on top of that freaking train for anything. The train was bought and built by Warner Brothers because they were initially in the original budget. They had a bridge in Oregon that was going to get demolished. So they were actually going to blow the bridge up. And for the end scene where you see the train going off into the gully, they were actually going to destroy that train. End of the movie. He ran that film so over budget with some of his shenanigans that they did it in miniature. But that being said, the first major stunt, we're doing about 60 miles an hour. I'm supposed to climb out the window, climb on top of the train, run the length of the train, jump about 10 or 12 feet onto the engine where we start kicking ass and taking numbers. And I had studied all of his films. I could mimic him perfectly. My question was, and I was trying to be as delicate as I could, and it's funny on a movie set, when you say to roll to another channel, everybody rolls to that channel anyway, because everybody's got to know everything. I said, "Dick, will you roll to channel 3, please?" So he rolls to channel 3. I say, "Dick, do you want me to run exactly like Steven runs? Or do you want it to be more like a special ops creep?" So he's got to ask the director asks the producer asks Steven. So goes down the chain, comes back. Do it the way you think it should be done. Because if we've ever seen Steven run, especially in his early movies, I can't even say he runs like a girl because I just watched the Olympics. But
the girls don't even the girls don't run like them.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how the film went. And I made it almost to the end of that before we had our run-in. The one event I will not recount because I don't think anybody would verify it except me, and I just don't want to go down that path. But could put it this well, we could. He found out that I dated. I think he found out that I had dated his wife in New York back in the day, Kelly LeBrock, and still married.
You dated Kelly LeBrock?
Yeah, twice. You ever kiss somebody? It's the worst kiss of your life. You would think of one that would be the greatest in the world, but no, we both kissed each other and kind of looked at each other like, this isn't supposed to happen. You're beautiful. I'm beautiful. But yeah, we went out twice. The second time was just to make sure we were wrong about the first time. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
if all goes the worst, you can just make a clone out of her like they did in Weird Science. That's all.
Yeah. And just because somebody doesn't kiss good doesn't mean they don't do other stuff good. So I can understand trying the second date.
Got down that road. I personally have always felt the kiss tells the whole story. You know, when you kiss somebody, it's either let's tear our clothes off and go to bed, or well, it's nice dinner.
Nice meeting you. And then you end that night with a handshake.
Right?
Yeah. Thanks for blowing me, but have a good night.
Okay, well, I can tell you one other event on Under Siege that might have had something to do with it. The woman that was cast to play the Black Mercenary, I believe her name was Fifi Aloui. She was doing Seagal behind his wife's back. How do I find this out? Minute she got on set, she was all over me like white on rice. So we were all going to go, not a bunch of us, Patrick Kilpatrick, we probably know is one of Hollywood's greatest bad guys, one of my oldest friends, and I and some other guys were going to go to Boulder that weekend for the famous Steam Caves, take the weekend off and relax, and I invited her. So Seagal had his own. It was a gay couple, two guys that were his hair and makeup, and they did him and they did me, and that's it. So that morning, I'm in the chair.
Wait. You
How's
mean
the
hair
dick
makeup,
kiss?
right?
Wow.
I'm in the.
Just kidding.
Just making sure that we're all clear. We're all on the same page.
Yeah. So that morning, I'm in the makeup chair, and I'm saying, hey guys, I'm taking Fifi to Boulder this week. I'm going to the famous steam caves and massages. I said I'm going to rock her world, and there is that uncomfortable silence in this. I look at them. I say, "Okay, girls, what's the story? You know something I don't know?" And they say, "That's Steven's special friend." And I say, "Like they're really old friends, or they're special friends?" And they said, "So I am thinking I'm making 20, 30 grand a week on this film, stunt doubling him with the overtime and what have you. Money in a condo in Vale, or if they decided to go with money in a condo." And I broke the date, very gently. I said, "Listen, I just decided that we should keep things professional on the set, and if you don't mind, I'm going to withdraw my invitation." So that night, I'm in a bar, and this again is toward the middle end of the film, and Patrick comes up to me, and he says, "Hey, Ryan, I hope you don't mind. I'm taking Fifi with me for the weekend." And I said, "Let me tell you something, Patrick. You might rethink that." So I told what I was told, and the only person that could have heard that conversation in a crowded bar was standing just on the other side of Steven, and that was my backup stuntman, the guy that was supposed to take over if anything, happened to me on it. And he wanted that job like his next breath of air. I won't use his last name. Anyway, won't tell you. Anyway, I'm sure he's the one that went to Steven and said, Rhino's telling everybody blah, 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 blah. So between that and Kelly, they may be finding out that I dated Kelly at one point. Wasn't too far past that I was put on the airplane going home.
He was ready to take the 45 out again.
No, not at me. But this is where he is weird. I'd made a lot of money, and I was very interested in buying a condo. We were in Lion's Head, which had just opened up. I had an appointment that following weekend to actually go and look at condos with a realtor, because I figured I love to ski. I was skied for Team Roscoe for a year when I was younger on the freestyle team, and I love Vail, and I thought it's also a good investment. It could be a rental property. It's a 4-season resort. So when I had to leave the hotel, Patrick said, "Why don't you stay with me? I got a 2-bedroom condo. Why spend money on a hotel? Stay here, look at your thing and go home next week." I said, "Great." So I'm hanging out with Patrick, and Patrick is a great chef, especially with vegan stuff. So he's making one of his big vegan meals, and there's a knock on his door. He goes and answers it, and he says, "Rhino, there's 2 guys here to see you." I go, and it was 2 of I think they were from Denver, detectives that Steven had hired for local security. And they knew I was sober. They knew that I had an addiction at one point to cocaine. And they came up and they said, Mr. Seagal is very uncomfortable with you staying in town. If you're not out of town by tomorrow, you're going to be arrested with a large quantity of cocaine. So I said, "Thank you very much. Tell Mr. Seagal, message understood." So needless to say, I didn't buy the condo. I left. But and the interesting part was my morals come into play. I get off the plane in Los Angeles, and a guy from one of the rag magazines, it's pretty obvious who I was getting off the plane, comes up to me, and he's got a paper bag, and he opens it up, and he says, "Look inside." It says $25,000 cash in there. Tell us what the fuck is going on with Under Siege 2. We heard it's a nightmare up there. And it would have been very easy to get even for him short-circuiting my finishing that film. But I thought better of myself. And also, I wanted to protect the stunt team. I didn't want this to reflect bad on Dick Syker and all the, I mean, because we had the greats up there. You know, Joel, Henry Kingi, Joel Kramer, who was Schwarzenegger's double and stunt coordinator, the Piccioni brothers. I mean, major heavyweights in the stunt business. Pat Romano was our rigger. And I just didn't want to reflect badly on them by ratting Seagal out in his behavior. But that was his last A-list film because of his behavior.
So Steven Seagal hated you. Did you at least get along with Eric Bogosian?
Eric was great. I mean, he's one of my truly great Broadway actors. I mean, I loved Eric.
You're talking from Talk Radio, right? Eric Bogosian from Talk Radio?
Yeah.
That's an old movie. A lot of people don't remember that movie at all, but I do.
The script was rewritten very shortly before the film. They were going to bring Gary Busey back.
I know it is.
He was on the sub that supposedly got blown up, but he was going to survive. He was going to come back all messed up. But last minute, whatever reason, they decided not to bring Busey back, and they changed the storyline a bit. I think, what's the guy's name? Is it Green? The main bad guy. I think his last name was Green. He does great bad guys. Was going to be Busey's part, and I don't know if Borgesian was brought in before or after that, but last minute they had I know Gary had a pay or play contract, so they had to pay him to not put him in the film, but they changed that storyline very close to shooting.
I'm trying to think of Green, who you're talking about.
Trying to remember his name.
There's is he native?
No, he was if you look at the screen credits real quick, he was the main terrorist. He was the guy telling everybody else what to do. He's got that really bony, square face, short hair, piercing eyes. He's another one of Hollywood's great bad guys. So he was like on the first tier bad guy. Patrick Kilpatrick was his main guy after that. Tom Green, maybe? It's been a while.
Tom Green's a comedian. He dated Drew Barrymore.
And
probably more than one.
If we weren't talking, I'd check IMDb real quick. But
yeah, I only have one device too.
Here's an example of why Seagal was not well loved by Warner Brothers. We get up there. I told him I need to get up there at least a week early to start running and training at high altitude. I skied Vale. We're going to be in the Gore Canyon, going over the mountains. We're 12 to 14,000 feet. I need to get my oxygen up. So I get there for a whole week. I've trained. I'm ready to go. Steven shows up, and he's got the hair. One of the reasons I got the job was the ponytail. I mean, except for my blue eyes, I was a spitting image of him, especially at any kind of distance. Warner Brothers was battling with him over the ponytail. They were saying, we want the same haircut as Under Siege. Under Siege, domestic did 100 million. Hopefully Under Siege 2, domestic will do 100 million. He was saying, storyline is I'm out of the Navy. It's 5 years later. I have a restaurant. I'd have my ponytail. Our whole first week there, we don't shoot a scene with Steven Seagal because he's still arguing with Warner Brothers about the ponytail. He had some kind of deal memo where they had to fly him to his ranch, Montana, Wyoming, on the weekend. He flies back in the following week, and we're shooting turnarounds. We're shooting everything except Steven. We're shooting scenes without Steven, with the people that are supposed to be talking to him or interacting with him. So he comes back. I'm standing there with Joel Kramer and Benji and Dick Syker that morning in this field. He goes walking past us and looks at me, and he starts laughing, chuckling. And he's got the haircut you see in the movie. So I turned to Dick Syker and said, why is he laughing? He says, we got to cut your ponytail, Rhino. And I said, so it's no big deal. So cut it. He said, I'm going to give you $5,000 for your ponytail today. I said, cut it, baby. That was my son day for my ponytail. They called it a hair adjustment. That turned out to be one of my best single days ever in Hollywood. It was 5,000 for that. I ran on top of the train a couple of times. In this business, every time you do something dangerous, you get paid another stunt adjustment. And then we had about a 14-hour day. So with all the overtime, your stunt adjustments get added onto your day rate, and then your overtime is based on your day rate. So it was a very good day.
And most people have to pay for a haircut to get a haircut. You got paid to get a haircut.
I got paid. All they do.
Was it still green?
It's about this long, and I had some gold thread, literally gold thread wrapped around it, and I had it put in a shadow box frame with a Xerox copy of my first week's check behind it. And then Mama wrote, "Thanks, Stevie." I think it was like $28,000 or something crazy like that. But yeah, I was making good money on that thing until we had our run in. So
was it Phil Green doing the stunts?
No, not Phil. I thought his last name was Green. I'm thinking of the actor. This is a starring role. The starring.
Oh, okay. I was looking under stunts, and there was a Phil Green.
Under your main cast, a square face, bony, like those sunken cheeks with big old cheekbones, piercing eyes.
Let's see, cast.
I thought it was his last name was Green.
Peter Green.
Oh,
what is it?
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Peter Green. Great bad guy. I love him.
I'm picturing his face.
Yeah, hang on. I'm trying to bring a picture up here.
Pretty muscular.
Very tall, lean. Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that you definitely want to run into in a bar fight.
You want him on your side.
Always, yeah, he's tall. He was actually a little taller than me, I think, maybe. I couldn't tell.
Dark alley.
He was wearing cowboy boots in that one. He got the $3,000 custom made alligator. Huh?
That guy?
Can't see it.
I can't see.
Yeah, it's kind of blurry.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty blurry. It's glaring too. You have an extra. You have a ring light.
Yeah.
Yeah, your ring light's reflecting off of it.
Well, anyway, I was going to say,
Rhino,
that we're
they used a crappy black and white picture of him anyway. So I mean, what are you going to do?
We're kind of running out of time.
I'll look it up later.
I'm sorry, I was really wrong.
Right.
Everett McGill.
That's right. Oh,
what's his name?
Everett McGill.
That's
but he's doing blonde hair, but man, he does great bad
the
guys.
face I was picturing.
Yeah, his character was Marcus Penn, the leader. He was a leader. Catherine Heigl and me and her and her mom would go Christmas shopping. There was great Christmas decoration stores in Vail, and she was only a little girl then. You know, she was playing his daughter. She was so sweet.
Oh,
yeah, we
cool.
on the weekends shopping.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, we appreciate you, the Rhino. I mean, and Frankie. I should see him still in the background. You know, hanging out with you and everything. Yeah. Well, we appreciate both of you guys coming on, regardless, and you know, and to my crew here at Renegade Radio. Next week will be episode 20. It'll be our season finale episode. We're going to have Joey Gaynor on the first hour, and then the last hour, our last guest will be wrestling manager Kenny Casanova. So that should be a fun night. But I want to say thank you, and for anybody that wants to know more about you, how can they do so?
Well, stuff that is current is on IMDb. I'm on Facebook as RHINO Michaels. My page is pretty much an industry page. I have a little bit about my life and my dog Bear and industry friends there. I always, years ago, I thought Facebook was just for college kids, you know, and I realized what a good work tool it is because it's so easy to take to keep up with friends. One of my truest great old friends taught me so much about Shakespeare is Nick Mancuso. A great actor. He actually played the CIA guy in the Under Siege films, but he had that great TV series Stingray with Stephen Cannell years ago. Nick is wonderful. Nick's semi-retired in Paris, and through technology today and Messenger and Facebook, you can chat just like we're chatting.
Oh, absolutely.
Just about anybody.
Wonderful. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
what's happening, where it's going on, who's working. It's an amazing tool and a lot of fun. I'm glad our election's over.
Yeah, we are too. We're glad.
Yes.
But it got a little dicey on Facebook, let me tell you. There was some, you were on one side of the wall or the other side of the wall during this election. There was no middle ground.
That's why you don't talk politics on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't. I just
my page, but I come across something really stupid on somebody else's page. Somehow I just got to chime in.
Yeah. All right, Rhino, and everybody, we appreciate you, and thanks again for tuning in for another great edition of Renegade Radio, and we'll see you next week for the finale.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming.
Everybody.